Fridays is the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington on the maternity leave. Who's working out with a rattle today? Juliet. Very young for that. Good hand-eye coordination. Olympics. Oh, too bad, Vito. You tripped over your own big, thick tongue today because you had some cute jokes in there.
Yeah, I tried to go off script for a word, and it really screwed me up.
You need to write everything down. And just so you know, too, it's not Zubaz.
Is it Zubaz?
Yeah, Zubaz.
Damn it.
And they were incredibly comfortable.
Yeah, man, I tried them on for the first time, and I was blown away that they ever went out of style.
They were never in style, just so you know that.
Oh, okay.
They were just something gym rats wore and people in Florida.
I've always just seen Bills fans wearing them, and I that's how I knew about them.
For some reason, they used to send them to our radio show. We'd get like 60 pair, and it was almost like a one-size-fits-all, and everybody would just dive into the pile. And we were basically wearing his PJs at morning show work. 844 Rock God, that's our number. 844 Rock God Unmasked tomorrow with Jim Brewer. You're going to enjoy this one. That goes right down at 4 o'clock and then all weekend long here on the big Sirius XM. And you can see me performing stand-up comedy Saturday, October 6th at the Newtown Theater in Newtown, Pennsylvania. NewtownTheater.com for tickets. I saw a buddy of mine last night. I haven't seen for 20 plus years. He owns a comedy theater in beautiful Sarasota, Florida. McGurdy's Comedy Theater, Les McGurdy. And I've known him for, oh God, a million years, literally a million years. He's doing fantastic. And he was bragging to me that the Sarasota Bradenton area has gone from 300,000 people in 1980 to 850,000 people today. And I'm like, I don't know if that's something I want to see happen. First time I went to Sarasota, Florida, I thought it was the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life.
I've never been to that part of Florida.
You missed it. Like everything else. Like everything in Florida, you missed the Keys, you missed the West Coast. Maybe you can still catch some of the Panhandle, but most of it is pretty built up with condos. But I remember going down there in the late 70s with some buddies on a very quick, hey, let's eat some Black Beauties and drive straight through to Florida. And we went down on the beach at Siesta Key, and there was a reef. You could literally snorkel right off the beach. You could go in, and, there would be, kind of exotic fish, the kind you might see in one of your aquariums that you grew up with in New York City. But I kind of feel like all those days are gone. Beach was so white that you couldn't even say, you had to say, you were squinting your eyes. That's how white the beach was, And Chris, there was coconuts the size of wheelbarrows, just giant. Yeah, we were just living on it was like keg. Well, you would tap it like a keg and just drink coconut milk.
Sounds like paradise.
It was. That actually, I don't know whether they still have it. They used to have a nude beach down there. So when you were a kid, you went directly to it right off the bat. Just pointing at you would be surprised. The people who do any kind of nudist camp or nude beach tend to run to the elderly.
Yeah, I remember watched a few Real Sex episodes on HBO. It was like a nudist camp episode. It was older. It was an older.
I think it comes into this. I think the elderly stop giving a fuck. You know what I mean? Like they don't. You know how they say dance like no one's watching?
Yeah.
This is like hang your nuts like no one's watching. Just put your balls out there. Get some sun on your balls. That's what the old guys think.
Old guys at the gym are very comfortable with like the dicks out.
Oh yeah, you mean showering and all that?
Not even just showering, just like walking around with like a towel on their shoulder.
Yeah, because you stop caring. You've learned none of it matters.
I was walking through the locker room the other day, and a dude almost bumped into me, fully naked, and he grabbed my arm.
And you got a hard on immediately?
Yeah, it was pretty sexy in there.
There's did we put up the picture of Vito on the Instagram? We're like social media, just monsters right now. And Vito brought up a picture of his first car. How old, Vito, how old were you here?
Sadly, I think I'm as young as 11.
Now, here's the funny thing about you. You're the same size from belt to head now, but you just had these logs for legs.
Yeah.
You look like the saddest boy in the world.
I don't know why I'm not smiling in the picture. I feel like my stepdad should have fucking killed me because for the $30 or $50 this picture cost.
All right, I'm reading some of these Instagrams. The Fat and the Furious. Fat man in a little car. He looks like Small Face from Dick Tracy. I'm not familiar with that. Are you, Chris?
Oh, yeah. Small Face was a gangster with a very tiny face.
Let's get a side picture of that. I don't really keep up with the big Dick Tracy things. I know they're talking to the wrist. Okay, I can see a little bit of Small Face there. There he is with your Lambo. Riding out on a Lambo. I'm mad that someone else came up, the Fat and the Furious, before we did. Glamour Shots has really stepped up their prop department. So, was this your car, Vito? Was that the...
Yeah, this was my family Lambo.
Good for you. Glad you're on top of the world as a youngster.
Yellow, bold choice for a color.
Well, I didn't have a license, so it was just...
You still don't have a license.
I have an expired permit.
Captain D already said that if he put on a Hawaiian shirt and trucker hat, he could be husky little Stanley. Nice whip, though, dude.
I wasn't husky. At that point, I was normal weight for a small boy.
Kara said this, Bert and Ernie's side piece had me laughing out loud in my cube. I would hate to call the place that I work my cube. Beautiful picture of you, though, Vito. Very handsome young man. I guess the gals were crazy about you, were they?
Yeah, I mean, hot boy, hot young car.
I don't know how a priest didn't fuck you. That's how adorable you are.
You look so nice and soft.
And
his hands are the same size as they are now.
I don't know. I think my hands are bigger because my birthmark takes up more room in that photo than it does now.
You know what would be cute? You could be in the movie Big, and there wouldn't even be that much of a difference. Literally, this time, Big. Hey, Robbie in Denver, what's up, buddy?
How's it going, Ronnie? I know you were talking about the beaches in Florida. I was living in Sarasota for about 4 years before I moved to Denver. Some of the most beautiful beaches ever. Nokomis, beautiful. Siesta Key, beautiful. Now all the beaches are suffering from the red tide, though, out there.
I saw that the governor was getting screamed at. He went into a restaurant and they were all chanting "Red Tide" at him, "Red Tide." But I don't know what the governor could do to stop red tide. I mean, that's just something that happens, right?
They were saying it's from Big Sugar and they were polluting the oceans with all the leftover pollutants that they use for the sugar.
You know, the whole thing, I've always heard the term Big Sugar, right? But I've never heard a single name involved in it. But the sugar industry, there's only been for years and years a couple of real players.
Domino, I guess that would be one. A big
but I'm talking about who. I mean, that's a corporation, but who are the people? You know, and the thing is, not just them, but the people who do the sugar cane or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they're all. It's like a sideways fucking deal that's been going on for like 80 years. So they're saying that the water's polluted, and that's why we have the red tide.
Yeah, it's just crazy that the red tide, that's what it is, or that's what it's taken over. I mean, the beaches out there are so beautiful before this.
I know.
And now when you go down there and you see it, it's just disgusting. It's smelly. It smells like,
That's just heartbreaking to me.
Yeah, it really is.
Because I agree with you. Yeah, I never saw anything like that in my life when I first showed up. And it was in the kind of late 70s. And from the whole West Coast all the way down into the Keys. The Keys were still pretty lazy then. It was like that fucking era of, when people were running weed, you know what I mean, in boats, before Coke came in and made it suddenly machine gun. But it was just fucking long hair. It's just fucking working shit out. You were always looking around to see if a bale had fucking washed up on the beach. It was very romantic and what I would say a very Jimmy Buffett type way. Chris, I know you're anti-Buffett, and you said you were going to listen to him all weekend. 2 years ago, it has never once set out to attempt it. Jim in Iowa.
Good afternoon. Hey, I was in Florida in my musician days in the early to mid 70s, and every time I remarked about how gorgeous it was, because I come from northern Canada, everybody always says, enjoy it quick before the Yankees fuck it up.
Yeah, they did fuck it up.
They did fuck it up.
Yeah, they fucked it up in a big way. There's no doubt about it. Well, what really changed everything in Florida was the late 50s, early 60s air conditioning. As soon as there was air conditioning, everybody was interested. Before that, people would go down in the winter, and they'd stay around Miami Beach and everything. But then they're like, we got to get the fuck out of here. The heat's coming on. And as soon as they could air condition, like at the beginning of the last century, Orlando only had like a couple thousand people living there. It's a giant fucking metropolis now. Just packed car, just not enough fucking highways. There's just the 4 runs through there. It's a fucking nightmare. But, they got, tilt-a-whirls, so pretty cool.
Giant golf ball.
Pretty cool to have tilt-a-whirls. All right, I'm going to ask you, Earl, because you're my music guy. There's a large backlash taking place because the word is Maroon 5 will play the Super Bowl, and there are people saying no. Negatory. Not it. What do you think on that, Earl?
It's classic NFL move. It's a safe move. It's not an edgy move. It's not. I don't think necessarily a good move, right? Be quite honest.
They've sold a lot of records,
a ton of them,
and women like them. Why the backlash? I mean, that it'll be like, I don't know, J-Lo or somebody will come out with them and do a song, and then some rapper will do a song, and then a country person will do a song.
Yeah, the
whole thing about Super Bowl halftime, it's supposed to be, here's a little something for everyone, but no one will be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to, because they've collaborated with like Wiz Khalifa, they've collaborated with Christina Aguilera, so they'll probably make appearances, but this thing just seems it doesn't even seem like a safe move or a smart one. I don't know. It doesn't jive with me at all.
Who do you want to see, Earl? Marilyn Manson come out there and just fucking just fucking jizzing all over the stage. I mean, ever since Janis Jackson fucking Hurt a Nation, all they worry about is not getting in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, and end up getting in trouble. You know what I mean? Like they had Madonna, and I think MI had dropped the F-bomb, and
good for her. I love to hear the F-bombs. So fucking cool. Will you be watching the Maroon 5? You switching over to the Puppy Bowl?
No, I'll be watching Maroon 5. If it's a Super Bowl, it's a halftime show. I'm going to
you're going to sit there and make fun of the halftime show. That's all part of it.
Yeah. But talk some shit about Maroon 5.
I always like go big and go with a legend. Springsteen, a Petty, a Prince.
Well, Petty's dead.
Well, I know that, but someone of that.
But they've
caliber.
done those.
Yeah, they've done them all.
There's not a classic rock band they've done Aerosmith. They did the Who. There's not anyone alive you can still do.
I got a great one, and he's promoting a new album.
Okay,
Paul McCartney.
He's already done it.
He's already done it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Paul McCartney did the Super Bowl, didn't he?
I thought he showed up once, as a special guest.
Well, let's look into it. Vito, what about for you? Who would you have as your Super Bowl halftime show?
Well, it's in Atlanta, which is right now is the main place where hip hop is right now. But no, I don't think any hip hop artist would do it because apparently Jay-Z backed out last year.
Paul McCartney performed in 2005.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's already done it. Well, here's the thing. Because I hear people going, it's in Atlanta. What about Atlanta? When have we ever said we're going to take the local fucking entertainment?
Yeah.
When has that ever happened?
R.E.M. should reform to perform at the Super Bowl.
Let's move it to Miami and bring out the Miami Sound Machine.
a current pop guy that everybody seems to like is Drake. I feel like Drake would be a pretty safe choice. Everybody likes him.
He's not even an American. I mean, if we were doing hockey, yeah, bring Drake in. I have no problem with that.
6 guy.
All right, what about this? Emerson, Drake, and Palmer. So everybody can feel like they get something that they want.
I would have thrown a ton of money at and had a one-off reunion with Outkast. That would be family friendly, big hits.
They have turned down tons of money.
They hate each other they did Coachella, and it was like, oh man, those guys still hate each other. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't
they
a good
despise
show.
each other.
Like, they hate each other so much that even if they do perform together, they're gonna make it a bad show. Big Boy is not like Outkast.
And I'm going to say, it's a long time now since Outkast was together. And I don't know, are they being played anywhere?
Maybe like
Thank you,
classic
Earl.
hip-hop. I don't know.
And that album came out like 16 years ago now, or 15 years ago.
The
double album.
Hey, Vince.
Yo.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we go with Ozzy Osbourne? Just the Prince of Darkness.
He is the Prince of Darkness, and they play Crazy Train. Maybe they could put together that NFL soundtrack.
What?
Yeah, everybody comes in and does their song. I'd go fucking crazy for that. How about a salute to Madden music?
Andrew WK.
What was that party?
Party hard.
How's it go again?
When you party, we will party hard. And then that's pretty much that over and over again. And it's great.
Yeah, sure. Fucking kids will go crazy.
People love fucking Andrew WK coming out, if it is really on WK.
David in Tennessee.
Hey, Ronnie. The only old school legend I can think that could pull it off would be Billy Joel.
I don't think Billy Joel's ever done it. What if they tried that Billy Joel Elton John thing? You know?
I think Billy and Elton are feuding again.
And so what?
What do they have left to feud about?
And apparently that was a big deal. They did the
What
one-on-one
about the
tour.
cute kitty cat girl?
I think people would like Ariana
What?
Grande.
Ariana Grande.
Grande? It's
Yeah,
Grande.
she announced that the other day. Her last name is Grande.
Oh, gee, I feel
Everybody's
terrible.
been fucking. No, she said everybody's been saying it wrong, so she doesn't even correct them anymore. Somebody else said that we say their name fucked up too. I remember when Demi Moore said the name's Demi. I don't know what's going with you. I'm like, I haven't even heard either name. I'm doing the best I fucking can. This is a made up name. Garrett, what's up?
Hey, I saw him in Hartford last night. No one ever brings up Elton John playing the Super Bowl.
Well, I think the Elton John, Billy Joel thing that they did from years ago, what are they fighting about? Because Elton keeps telling everybody that Billy Joel gets fucked up.
Yeah, it was a whole issue about sobriety and
I know, but what about your audience? They're drunk off their ass, Elton. Why don't you fucking point at them? Here's our old pal, Party Shots Bob. Party Shots, the place for you to get all the party shots you want. It's Party Shots Bob.
Hey, how about the Foo Fighters?
The Fighters of Foos. The Foo Fighters, have they? I don't think they've ever done it.
No, they've not.
Make my way back home and I want to. They could have Tenacious D with them.
Prince just covered one of their songs, but they themselves never played the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I remember when Prince did their song. But by the way, you made it sound like Princess. Chris in Philly. Chris.
Hey guys, they're old enough now and they've gotten really hard rock, but what about Metallica?
It seems like Metallica. I mean, we could talk to Brewer about this. He's the opening with them, and he's running this whole crazy ass pre-party. But yeah, Metallica has become dad rock at this point. People are very happy and comfortable with Metallica. I remember when radio didn't touch them, and they sold a ton of records. But radio didn't. I don't think radio played them until that song One.
I think Sandman.
No, it was after One was before Sandman, though, right?
Yeah, you're right. I was Injustice for All. That's when that was kind of like the first mainstream record for them.
All right. I kind of agree with Chris. I like it when it's somebody that you don't like, that you can just there and fucking tee off at your Super Bowl party. I'll start roasting them. I'll get in a couple of good shots. And then I'll hear the same old thing I always hear. Oh, Ron, you're incorrigible. And I go, I know. I never want to be incorrigible. Mike, Sacktown.
Hey, yeah, I want to suggest AC/DC. I don't think they've ever done it. They play their songs all the time at the football game.
Well, people would go crazy, and they can do it with Axl Rose now.
And then bring out guns and just do AC/DC and guns in the halftime show.
That'd
be awesome.
Me all together.
That'd be fucking great.
On the stage?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I was just saying, I know it wasn't going to be down on the grass. Josh in Illinois.
Has anyone said Bob Seger yet?
Well, now that you bring up Bob Seger, if we do Metallica, he can come out and do Turn the Page with them.
It's perfect.
Here I am, real star again. Hear me out here, because I think this would go. The show is Tom Segura.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Then he can bring out Christine P. and everybody like, oh my God. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, here comes Bert Kreischer walking on stage, pulling his shirt off. The three of them together on stage.
That sounds amazing. I mean, will it be playing music or just be?
Why would they play music suddenly?
I mean, it's a halftime show. There's usually a concert going on.
It's entertainment, and they're going to be doing stand-up. Hopefully roasting the city of Atlanta a little bit, Bill in Georgia. Bill.
Yes, sir. Let's bring out ZZ Top, old school.
You know what? Just the other day I was listening to LaGrange, and I said to myself, I didn't know there were so few lyrics in this song until this moment. And I must have heard that song 1.5 million fucking times in my life. And I'm like, wait, what is there? 8 lyrics in this thing? Hey, Glenn, what's up, buddy? What do you got for us?
Hey, buddy, Ron, 2 things. One, I got tickets to Rufus Wainwright tonight here in Halifax.
Oh, you're going to have a hell of a time.
Oh, he's the best ever. And but Kanye should do the Super Bowl, debut his new song, I Just Want My Dick Sucked.
Kanye will not leave Chicago, which is something that he's really committed to. Vito was talking to us about. Vito's worried because he doesn't think it's going to have the club scene to keep the Kardashians keeping up with themselves.
What are they going to do with their time if they don't have the LA clubs to go to?
And I'm going to say this one just for Vito, and I think he would agree with me. Would it make sense for JC from Big Brother to go out and do that? Or is the fact that he's a sexual assaulter?
He could come out with Kid Rock.
I feel like what network is it on this year?
I don't know, Vito. I don't bring you in to ask more questions.
You're a TV guy. You should know.
Time travel is real. Let's put this, check this up from the iBang. This is celebrities today that they found pictures of them back in the 1800s, which is basically just the beginning of photography. So who knows before that? And let's all vote whether it's dead on or not. The Eddie Murphy right off the bat.
Okay, that's Eddie Murphy from 1890.
Now, Earl, I'm going to say to you, I just see a black guy with a mustache, and I'd say you'd have to be some kind of Proud Boy racist with an upside down okay signal to see that as Eddie Murphy.
That is stone cold Eddie.
Okay. I guess you're right then. I thought fucking Earl would go with the joke, but he's not going to do it. All right, let's see the next one.
This is Johnny Depp.
Way more dead on. That looks exactly like Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that is Johnny Depp. He just has like a thicker mustache today to go with the times.
What is this called when you have somebody that you look exactly like? Your
doppelganger.
Thank you. We have to go to Germany to even have a word for that. All right, the next one.
It's an Egyptian actress and Jennifer Lawrence.
I'll tell you this, I'd love to be in a 3-way with them.
It'd be hot.
No one ever brings up this, but that Jennifer Lawrence is attractive.
I haven't noticed.
I never hear anyone, and they're like, look at those beautiful eyes she has, huh?
Yeah. I saw the fappening pictures.
Oh, I did not look. I was told not to. I don't see this one at all. This is,
Is It's David Schwimmer from Friends and a man with a giant mustache from the 1800s.
It's just another Jewish guy, if I'm going to be honest.
I think it might be him, and the mustache was like the disguise at the time.
I don't know if they had fake mustaches back there.
If he was a time traveler.
All right, here's Andy Samberg.
And Daniel Radcliffe.
All right, I'm not getting the Daniel Radcliffe, but that looks exactly like Andy Samberg.
That's fucking Andy Samberg, man.
Oh. All right, here's just some guy from Harlem in 1939 and Jay-Z.
All right, that's
They
Jay-Z.
look exactly. I've even seen Jay-Z with that hat on before, Earl.
That's his style.
We could do Earl Douglas and Earl Douglas Sr. from the same age. This is one that went around for a while. Nick Cage and some guy from the 1870s.
If anyone was a time traveler, I believe it'd be Nick Cage. He acts fucking crazy enough.
I know people like to make fun of his acting. I always enjoy it. Always a big Nick Cage fan. Yeah, that Timberlake guy looks the same too.
Yeah, that guy looks like he was fighting in the Civil War. Poor bastard.
I don't like when you just do it off of a thing, but I guess that's close enough. Statue head.
Yeah, with the
Now, let's see this John Travolta. That's just a gay guy from the 1860s.
That's the stretch. Everything else, I believe.
John in New Orleans. How are you, buddy?
Hey, it's John from Warwick, Ronnie. What's up?
What do you say, buddy?
Hey, not too bad. How about the reunion you'd like to see? The Kinks.
We're going to have Dave Davies on tomorrow, and my prediction is the Kinks never get together. They've had so many opportunities.
Great, you know?
They've had so many opportunities, they're just not going to do it. I have no plans to even push for it. Here's some of the things that are about this. Did Leslie have to co-sign for Vito's first car? Worst valet ever. Vito could not get his fat ass into that car. Vito has a half a ham sandwich and some fun dip in his pockets of those cargo pants. So sad Big Bones couldn't even wedge those husky jeans into the car. Poor Vito standing because he can't. Chin Diesel. I like that instead of Vin Diesel. You're going to need a bigger door. This one's good. Lamborghini. Lambo, more like Hambo. Oh, these are hilarious. A young Ron Bennington lookalike. Hey! Rude and rude. This is my N-word. I won't say the N-word, Earl. I'm the only white guy that won't do that.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Consider my ass woke.
Joe woke.
Earl, I can't even see you in that. We need the lights on for me to see Earl. That's too bright.
Get a dimmer in there?
That's racist.
How so?
I'm not exactly sure. This is my favorite story of the day. A blind kid scored 2 TDs in a freshman game. Now, this was not one of those ESPN fucking viral moments where both teams let the blind kid score. This is a blind kid playing on the fucking team. This kid's a hero.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, when I read the headline, I was figured, okay, they're just doing a favor to this poor blind kid.
Why would you fucking paint him into that corner?
That's just, I'm just,
You know what? I was about to present you with this beautiful bottle of bourbon that was given to me yesterday.
Oh, I really would. It looks delicious.
Well, I am giving it to Chris. Original Chris.
All right, first of all, I don't like that the intern's name is Original Chris when I'm the original Chris. And second of all, it's an intern.
Who's the producer of this show?
I am.
Why was this the only show on Sirius XM that Pete Dominic didn't come in and whine about how he was treated the other day?
I didn't pursue Pete Dominic.
All the other shows beat. And that fucking Bonfire show was great radio. Just Pete saying, I can't be picked on. I expected you to be there for me. Who did you get in a fight with?
Joe DeRosa.
Who fights with Joe DeRosa? He's a beautiful little lamb. This had to be a misunderstanding, and I should have judged Judied it. Instead, Jim and Sam get all the accolades. Oh, yeah. Jim and Sam really chilled this thing out. I don't get it. What exactly went wrong on that show between DeRosa and Pete Dominic?
Apparently, they were having a disagreement over politics, and
You just have no idea. You don't know what politics they had a problem with. Look, these are different times that we're living in now. And the number one comedian in the country is, and why won't you just say, Ron, I have no idea. I don't follow what goes on in the hallways, and the highways and the byways of this place. I am clueless. I'm just focusing on that bottle of bourbon and hope that you drop it and break it so I can lay down on the carpet and suck it.
I mean,
so I feel some kind of buzz in this fucking alky head of mine.
It's a pretty bottle.
Yeah. Well, you see me throw it fucking 37 floors down, hopefully hitting a tourist in the head with it. They say if you threw this off the Empire State Building, you could kill somebody.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Another thing people never even bring up, the Empire State Building is so high that if you threw a bowling ball off of it, it would probably smash somebody's head. Or an axe or shot a gun down there. So I wanted to talk to you about Amy Schumer. She's she's the big comedian of the day. She says there's a topic that should be off limits, and that's this Me Too movement. She says for the guys.
Okay.
The guys got to keep their big fat pie holes shut. Earl, do you believe that there's any topic that should be off limits?
None. Zero.
All right, here's a joke for you. Black people are lazy. You like that one?
That's a statement. It's not a joke.
Thank you. No, look who's laughing. I got to laugh in this room. Now, I only did that, Earl, to prove a point. You know what my point was?
No, I don't.
About the laziness of black people. No, the point was everybody's okay with every joke until it's there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Their side. So, yeah, I could see if you go, hey, don't pick on Earl. He's been through a lot. You know? You shit out some of your guts that time. Remember, Earl, when you had the ulcer?
Yeah, I almost died.
Yeah. And remember the jokes we were telling?
Yeah, I remember a couple about Ebola. A lot of
There
Ebola.
was a couple of Ebola. And then there was a joke that Earl's only going to need 2 pallbearers because there's only 2 handles on a trash can. I guess that joke works.
It does.
I don't know why I'm discussing this with you. I'll wait till I have a professional comedian in there. But one of the things that she doesn't like is like comedians that go on stage and go like, I don't know how I'm supposed to act anymore with this Me Too movement. Like, do I say hi to women? You know, can I give them a massage on their shoulders? What am I supposed to do? Run when I see a woman? I like this. I like ever since they started this caveman diet, seems like everybody's into the Me Too movement. I don't know. I gotta really work on that joke.
I like it.
But she says she's sick of comedians joking that they're afraid to be alone in a room with a woman.
Well, I think it's partly joke and probably partly true. I bet men are afraid to be alone in a room with a woman. I'm afraid to be alone in a room with a child. So sometimes it's just
what's that? The Me Too movement?
So I mean, that's a legitimate fear. Just like the women have legitimate fears on the Me Too side of men maybe harassing them.
All right, stop it. Now let me ask you this, Chris. As a transgender, do you ever? You're transgender, right?
No, I'm.
Are you telling me you were born a male with that beautiful face?
Yes, I identify as a cis white male.
Hey, let's not make fun of sissies.
Ah.
What's this? It says collect this link to see Batman's penis. It's a Chris Stanley. Let me tell you something. The bluntest headlines known to man.
Yep.
All right, I have not seen this yet. Now, is this Ben Affleck's penis?
This is the This is the comic version of Batman's penis, because in the DC comics, they have drawn his penis in a new adult line of DC comics.
It's still in the dark. I'm going to say this. It looks semi-hard.
Yeah, he's filling up a little bit. I don't know the storyline. That someone just took the panels of the comic, and this is an official DC comic, and they released it, Batman naked with his penis. I don't even see any testicles. I'm just seeing straight.
That's a
shaft.
very good point. That there should be some fucking. I expect them to have big bat nuts.
Yeah, big full nuts. And there's multiple angles of the penis. And
Wait, what do you always call the porn fucking cartoons? Don't you have a name?
Hentai.
I thought that's what the women got written on their arms.
No, that's henna.
You see how I make mistakes.
I understand, but it's hentai, the porn version of anime.
Now I'm going to ask Earl to look at this closely.
Uncircumcised.
No, that's
Wait,
circumcised.
that is circumcised.
Very circumcised. He kind of seems like Batman's black here, right?
Yeah,
you look at his stomach, his thighs.
Yeah, and is he dropping a swear word here in the comics now?
Yeah,
he's pissed.
Bullshit, said Batman.
Bullshit, my dick's out.
Now, Earl, I don't know whether you saw the New York Post yesterday, but the Guys We Fuck podcast, those two young ladies, we met them before. Very, very nice. They're also stand-up comedians. They had to apologize for talking about what kind of black guys they would like to bang. They want them to be pretty street. And they had to apologize, and guess what for? Fantasizing. Black guys. Now, why is that a bad thing?
I don't see it as
people have fetishes,
Yeah.
right? Why aren't you allowed to express your fetish?
They're just that's what they like. They're saying that's their
thing.
Yeah.
They had to apologize. This is why I want you to fucking be careful about what you're saying, because your thing is you only date Costa Ricans.
Yeah, I love it. I love Central America.
Now, is that a fetish or a preference, or is there one?
That's what I would say. Don't we all have preferences? What's your preference, Earl? Black guys?
No.
I'm saying if it is, you're fucking accepted. What is it, Aussies?
No.
I got a fucking intern for you right now that seems to be rocking the whole internet.
Like them light and bright. Women light and bright.
You like white women?
Frankly, I don't care as long as you're smart.
You said light.
Just not super serious. Not light.
Oh, you're talking personality.
Yeah.
Remember the time that you were accused of rape when all you did was go up to bust up a Chippero?
Was not ever accused of. Oh,
that's coming to Broadway.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and playing Atticus Finch is going to be Jeff Dunham, and Scout is going to be a puppet. And I'm like, I do not see this.
I didn't expect that casting. I thought they'd use a human.
Now, you're familiar with the book To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes.
And Scout is maybe one of the best kid characters ever invented.
Yeah.
Do you do you remember that there was like a little boy that was running around?
Yeah.
Scout?
Yeah.
Do you know who that person is based on?
No idea.
Do you know? Another writer.
They were good friends. Truman Capote.
Truman Capote.
Really?
Earl's literate. Chris is not.
I feel like an idiot.
Earl, I got a fun bottle of bourbon for you.
He doesn't drink.
He's going to drink once he tastes this. It's going to make you forget this cold, cold winter we're living through, Earl. Summer hung around this year, didn't it?
It's going to be hot till October. That's my prediction.
Well, all you'd have to do is look at the weather. It's going to be in the low 70s for the rest of the week.
Oh, I'm fucked myself.
But Saturday, we kick into autumn.
Is it the official start date?
Yes. The
Harvest
officials.
moon? Is that what that is?
Well, it doesn't fall on the moon. It falls on the date.
Okay.
But yes, I'm sure the next moon will be a harvest moon. I saw the August moon was a pink moon. Did you see it, Earl?
I missed it.
Earl, you're a photographer, right? You consider yourself one of the greats. Why can't anyone ever take a good picture of the moon? Like, I'm like driving along, like, look at that fucking moon. And she goes, I take a picture of it. Looks like a little white dot in the fucking. Why does that happen?
You
Earl?
need like a really high-powered camera.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use my phone.
Like one of them NASA cameras.
Chad Dukes wrote yuck to us. And I'm not sure about which one, whether it was the Batman Dick or the Amy story.
I'm going to think Batman Dick.
Chad Dukes, I have to tell you this. I am stunned to see your stadium half filled because I've said it before. I've never seen. I always thought that they were at the top of enthusiastic, positive fans.
Yeah.
And they've just had it. That fucking franchise and that owner have killed what was, one of the most enthusiastic followings that anyone's ever had.
How long has he had the team for?
I don't know why you think you can come on this show and ask me questions. Your job is to give me information. So it's like if this was Wall Street, you'd come running into the boss's office and go, what stock should I invest in? I don't want you to give me information. I want you to bring me information. Or just the opposite. I can't remember everything from Wall Street. I'm doing a porno parody of Wall Street. I'm calling it Ball Feet, Earl. It's those guys that like to put their nuts on girls' feet. Isn't that your preference, Earl? Well, take a light, bright girl, rub your fucking nuts all over.
No, I'm not a nut rubber.
If a woman today, the Me Too movement, asks you to come in and bust up a chip, Earl, and I know only your left hand works, would you go in there?
No, I would get as far away as possible because it'll get completely taken out of context.
Before you left, would you yell "Feet don't fail me now" and start running? Because I remember you did that once.
Well, not pull a little feet.
Jason wants to bring something up, and God damn it, he dialed 844 Rock God, and I'm gonna be happy to talk to him. Jason, what do you got for me, buddy?
What's up, Ronnie?
Hey.
How's Gail and the baby?
So fantastic. I showed the boys, this baby's playing with a giant rattle today at 7 weeks. Now, just so you know, Joe Montana did not pick up a rattle until 3.5 months. And even then, short swing passes most of the time.
It's dumping off?
Yeah, that's West Coast. Why don't you come in here? What exactly is the West Coast offense, Ron? Ron, what should I eat for lunch today? But what can I do for you, Jason?
So I think at the Super Bowl halftime, they should have a hologram of every dead artist ever and play them all at once.
I will tell you this. It's not that far away. And I saw the Roy Orbison one the other day on fucking TV, and it was scary how realistic it was. And I saw the Jim Gaffigan one at the National Comedy Center. And I'm like, why am I wasting time going to see Jim Gaffigan when I could just buy this hologram and have it at my house? Have him run down craft beers to me.
The only hologram I saw was the Tupac one. I think that was at Coachella.
You're fucking racist, dude. And you weren't at Coachella.
I mean, I saw a video of it. I didn't see it in real life.
Why don't you just say this? I never saw a hologram because you saw a 2-dimensional picture of a hologram.
Yes.
Where I was at the big Roy Orbison show. Still left 4 songs in. I'm not going to leave with that big crowd, Earl. I'm going to get out of there. Tires don't fail me now, I yelled. I screeched out of there. Earl, tonight, what time you get off work at the Hard Rock?
1 a.m.
I'm going to pick you up to drive you home. But first, we're going to do donuts in the middle of fucking Times Square.
Sick.
And I don't care if the fuzz doesn't like it, The
Ponine?
I just said fuzz. Let me pour out some of this fucking bourbon so you never get it.
It just looks so good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Just like a taste.
Chris, I'd feel like I was enabling you.
Are you
So I'm
on
going to
the-
give this to my interns.
You can't give booze to the interns.
First of all, what year is it that you're calling this booze?
Booze.
Booze. My, I don't want those interns having the booze. What is wrong with you, Chris?
I'm just distracted by that bottle. Talking all sorts of weird shit.
How's this news? But fucking Vito puts in something to talk about on the show. Kylie Jenner. Every day he brings up Kylie Jenner. I don't know which one it is. Says she
non-model.
just now tried cereal with milk. Why would I give a shit about that? Good. Use a spoon, not a fork.
It's fucking crazy that she's never. But like everybody has had.
Do you understand that she's grown up in California? She doesn't have your kind of mom where like, sure, eat a big fucking kiddie pool filled with sugary cereal.
Look, I get eating it dry once in a while, but the fact that you've never had it with milk ever. It's fucking cereal.
Can I just say something to you? The only thing you've ever ate dry is another man's asshole.
The best kind.
Why? You act like that's a bad thing?
I said the best kind.
Oh, okay.
I like it. I like a nice dry asshole. But
all right, then we're all on the same page.
the milk and the cereal thing, like there's stuff I tried late in life, like food wise, but there's nothing weirder than milk and cereal. Like I didn't try.
You know what you tried late in life was a carrot.
Honestly, I don't think I've eaten a carrot yet.
You're the only person I've ever seen put sugar on an apple taffy.
But I never had wings or fried chicken until college.
What the
Believe
fuck?
that or not,
Ow.
me of all people, never tried it.
Well, you live in New York City. It wasn't a big wing city.
Yeah, it wasn't a big wing city. And then when I got to college and I tried wings, it was right when I lost weight. And a big reason I gained weight was because I started eating fucking wings constantly because I justified that it was chicken.
Deep fried chicken.
But white meat, so it's healthy. But fucking milk with cereal, everybody, you're telling me that as a kid, her parent, fucking Kris Jenner,
yes,
never said, here's milk.
Yes, they're not like that. They fucking eat healthy.
Milk
I have a sister-in-law, you wouldn't believe the food that she kept away from her children.
Milk?
They've never had a Tic Tac. Yeah, milk, they say milk is fucking from a cow. It's not good for you.
Cows are healthy. Burgers, milk.
Both of those things are unhealthy, you idiot.
Tartar, steak.
Yes, none of that stuff is healthy. Everything that you've mentioned is not healthy. You never like, honey, you're on a diet. I want you to have a cheeseburger. First of all,
for you.
You ever see like somebody who will just order a hamburger? I'm like, what fucking year is this?
That's disgusting.
Why even put it on the
I
menu?
would you let it, when I look over, okay? You already yelled out that cheeseburgers were healthy. I'll tell you, I was so disappointed in the last Big Brothers episode. I thought it was a step backwards. And could you imagine all the things you could have discussed that the way it went, but you were all so sure what was going to happen? Not one of you guys said, what would JC do? What happens if the three have to pick in between? All that stuff could have been lined up. You had such a good season.
Similar to Tyler, we choked at the end.
Did you guys know it at the time, or did you think you did a good one?
I think we all thought we had a really good episode.
Did you go back and listen?
Yeah, it was negative. We were wrong about everything. I mean, we all said Julie Chen seemed like she was leaving. We all said that it was just.
You just weren't into it. You acted like you were above it. You weren't there to serve. You weren't there to serve the show, and that's why I think you lost so many super fans. And if anything, for Halloween, I want you to do a thing with Super Fangs, where you get your super fans to put extra teeth in. Who do you think was leading the negative vibe? You know
Adam,
who it was. It was Chris.
Chris is being negative. I mean,
Go back and listen. And when you listen to it, you're going to hear I hate him. That's stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Just when you're at the point. I'd enjoyed every show up there because you guys were being strategic. And then you told me it was a stupid show with stupid people. Well, I said this. I believe they're stupid hosts right now. So that's it for Big Brothers. We will not be putting up the last shows.
There's 2 shows left. We'll make strides.
All right, I'm going to give you a choice right now, Chris, since you're being negative.
Okay.
Do you do the last shows or do you get this bourbon?
I mean,
your choice.
I really want that bourbon.
Yeah, but Chris, we have 2 shows left. We have
Look,
big
let him
finale.
make his own decision.
Mm.
You have 3 seconds, or you get neither.
Seconds. Okay. Then give me the Big Brother shows.
All right. I'll have you stick to that. I'll have you stick to that. Dan in Boston.
Hey, Ronnie B, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, so I heard this story the other day. There's an observatory in New Mexico, a solar observatory that keeps an eye on sunspot activities. Government funded. It's got a public.
Yes, I've seen the story. And suddenly
You've seen
it
this?
shut down.
Yeah, and the only thing that the FBI has stated was security reasons, and they won't give any other facts, and it's been closed for over a week. What do you think's going on?
Well, the initial things were, did they spot something there? Is there something going on? Do they know about aliens? Then I heard yesterday, they went in to shut it down because of dirty pictures from the internet.
Yeah, from the janitor.
Which, if you were
Batman
doing a fucking cover-up, would be the thing that would please everybody.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly the thing I thought, because they did find aliens. Or they found something. They got a message.
You know what the message is? The alien disease is among us. It is here.
Why wouldn't they tell us so we could try to find a cure?
Why would they tell us? They don't want to start panic. They want everything going along until the world's extinct. No panic. We do go gently into that good night. If I was trying to shut that place down, I would act like, oh, look, there's a dead cow over there because there's a fucking leak. There's a gas leak. Look, we found another dead bird here. My favorite character in Close Encounters was just that old hillbilly guy that had a fucking sign up. I don't know why he was so chill about it all. Everybody else was fucking weirded out.
He was accepting it.
Good for him. You know what, Chris? I'm going to take a break here. I'm going to take this Jefferson's Reserve bourbon, go down and pour it in a turlet.
That's just a waste of good whiskey.
You had a chance to save it,
I know.
didn't you?
I did.
It's Saturday morning. Your college team is preparing for another football game, while you're preparing for another letdown because your TV provider doesn't provide you with the team's game. Dish has heard your need for more college football. Did you know with Dish, you can get every major D1 football game no matter where you live? That includes games from the Big Ten, Pac-12, SEC, and Longhorn networks. Dish listens. It's how they stay tuned into you. Programming, features, functionality, subject to change, requires America's top 120 plus multi-sport package. Multi-sport package included with packaging starting at $69.99 with no additional cost through January 2nd, 2019. To learn more, the 1-844 call Dish, visit dish.com, or find a local retailer near you.
This is the Bennington Show. We're back, and tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on Faction Talk, we're going to be airing the Unmasked with Jim Brewer, recorded live at the Fat Black Pussycat. Listen tomorrow. This is Faction Talk 103, the Bennington Show.
It's the Bennington Show. Some pretty awful news coming out of Aberdeen, Maryland, where there was a shooting today, mass shooting at a warehouse. And my parents lived right on the other side of the Chesapeake from Aberdeen. It was always a big proving ground. They would shoot off guns and stuff like that. They would test stuff for the military. But this mass shooting at the warehouse was done by a woman. Very, very rare to hear that.
Yeah, the only other one I can remember is the girl that went to the YouTube headquarters.
Well, yes, we had that, but Earl will remember this musical clue. The silicone chip inside a head. Remember that one, Earl?
Yeah.
I Don't Like Mondays was about a shooter, a young girl who was a shooter. So that took place 1979, 1978. But yeah, very weird story. I guess we'll have to wait for more details. A good friend of ours, Yamanika, comes from Aberdeen, Maryland. Earl, I want you to get to the bottom of that. You're kind of my journalist. Or do we look into the interns to do it? I don't know.
Which one of the interns do you think is breaking out so far this semester?
That's a great question. Which intern is breaking out? Well, let's face it. The ladies love original Chris. He's got the accent. He's got the looks. We were looking at the picture. Just how casual he is. But Vinay is really, he's getting some big names on his comedy bar night. And he's also wearing very funny pants today. Did you see his pants?
I did not see his pants.
They're not just funny, they're fun. And then here's something he said to me. Would you like something to drink or should I go out and get some food for you? And I'm like, that's when I realized Vinay cares about me a lot. I don't know whether Original Chris does.
That was a very thoughtful question on Vinay's part.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? To go out and get some fun food in those crazy pants? Yeah.
Maybe Chris needs to step up his wardrobe. That could help. Original Chris, sorry.
No, you're saying that he should start wearing a sari?
That was apologize for getting his nickname wrong.
The Lord is back in a big, big way.
Oh, I didn't know Lord he has his own name on his shirt.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool thing.
Really cool.
How about for you? Who are you thinking, Vinay or Original Chris?
I was thinking Original Chris.
Really? Based on what?
He's helping me with some dock work that we have coming up.
Oh, you're parking boats?
No, documentary. I said doc, short for documentary.
Why wouldn't you use the young comedian on that?
Well, Chris has experience working on documentary.
Ooh, yeah. I didn't know he came in with experience.
Yeah.
All right. Earl, who's leading for you right now? Vinay or Original Chris?
I'm leaning Original Chris.
Wow.
He's kind of just diving right in. He seems to kind of get a feel for everything.
And Vinay doesn't. Vito, I'm going to go with you.
For me, it's Vinay.
Why?
Because
you don't want to go with the bit?
No, because Vinay's just doing really well. And I just wanted to give him some credit.
That doesn't know how to go with a bit.
That was a generic answer.
Yeah. You guys gave specifics of what he was doing and all, and you just saw that Vito wanted to have his answer out there on its own. All right, I'm going to go with Vinay too, just based on that food and drink thing today.
Goddamn Original Chris.
One of them are going to get Chris Stanley's bourbon.
Jesus.
That he gave away. It's the first time as long as I've known you. And this came through the duty free.
Ah.
When Mike Ward and Pantelis are on their way down here.
I would expect them to get you Canadian whiskey.
No, it's just duty free whiskey. They say it's unbelievable though.
I really feel like
this was the bourbon that Dylan Thomas died drinking.
Oh, I would.
He had 21 straight shots.
That killed him? I feel like I've done 21 straight shots.
Yeah, but who knows what he did the night before?
Okay.
That's the thing. Life doesn't start 7 a.m. There's something always happened the night before. Yeah, I know I've done 21 shots too. How many times do you think you've been blackout drunk in your life?
Okay, let's see. I would black out drunk 2 to 3 nights a week in college. I was in college, away in college for 2 years. I'm going to say 500 times.
I know that I'm in the hundreds. I want to say 1,000, but that becomes like, meeting bragging. You know what I mean? But I'm going to say with you, I'm going to go into the hundreds.
Yeah.
Now, I never was alarmed. Were you alarmed when you blackout drunk?
No, but I don't do it as much now. Maybe once or twice a year, and then it's like, oh shit. The one time was when I woke up in the hospital. That's the one time I was really alarmed.
I feel responsible because I let you drink like that, and you were trying to showboat.
No, I chose to drink those 2.
I know, but I could have stopped you, and I was like, I want this to be fun for everybody, and I see how alarmed they're getting. So you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I was a little proud of you until I found out what happened.
I took my shirt off at one point, didn't I?
And took out that little chode of yours too.
I didn't know I was exposing myself like Batman.
It was hard to even say. It was a cold night. This was a Christmas party.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And last year we didn't do a Christmas party, right?
I don't think we did.
Yeah, I don't think we did because we were so busy.
Yeah, it was crazy
running up to the last minute.
Yeah, and it was like we only really had half of December because of like vacation.
Half December and it.
Love that song.
I know you do, man. Now you said you overheard Earl saying something embarrassing today.
All right, so I asked Earl who's your favorite female celebrity. I said female, and he said.
By the way, before we even get to this, Earl, so far is everything true?
Yes, so far everything's true.
Okay.
And I asked the question, and then Earl says, Tom Hanks. This motherfucker says Tom Hanks after I asked him.
Did not say Tom Hanks.
Yes, you did.
What I said was, I said, I have no idea. And then I blurted out Angelina Jolie.
He said Tom Hanks.
Well, why could this have gotten so fucking mixed up where you're saying Tom Hanks and he's saying Angelina Jolie?
He said Tom Hanks. No, wait, Angelina Jolie. He said Tom Hanks when I asked him the question of.
No, wait, I said Angelina Jolie straight out.
Can I tell you something? If fucking Tom Hanks is your celebrity crush, this is a very safe environment for that, Earl. I will back you 100%.
I didn't say that when I heard it. I said, are you gay?
So what, even if he is?
Well, I thought he was straight, so I was just...
Doesn't matter. Why do we have to be put in boxes? Maybe he's fluid.
And what, does he think Tom Hanks is a female? Because this motherfucker said Tom Hanks.
I said Angelina Jolie.
This is coming across like bullying.
This is not
This is bullying. And you know what?
Yeah.
You took a simple, sweet Angelina Jolie answer and you turned it into something to try to hurt Earl.
I'm not trying to hurt Earl. I'm just confused as to why someone would say, ask the question, who's your favorite female celebrity? And then the person says Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks isn't fluid.
What about your favorite female celebrity? Is it still Lil Tay?
Oh, Lil Tay has been exposed. Lil Tay was at
Oh, no. She's 9 years old. She better not get exposed.
Is she 9 years old? Because apparently, all right, the Daily Beast went like deep into what Lil Tay. Lil Tay was a little girl rapper that was beefing with.
I didn't know she was a rapper. I thought she was an Instagram star.
She was
because we had her on there going, "Hey, bitch, I'm 9 years old. Look at all this money.
I'm gonna fuck you up. Look at my house and my cars." So it's that little girl that was beefing with Cash Me Outside girl.
I thought she was on the side of Cash Me.
No, she was like talking shit to her outside like a store, and then she started making YouTube videos about like how much money she has and all her stacks and all her cash. And there was another little girl she was making videos with. So apparently Lil Tay is actually 16 years old and has been lying about her age. And that like there's a producer from her town that's like made the character of Lil Tay, and it's all bullshit.
Well, she did seem too mature to be 9 in her street language. Like, she looks really young, but like, I was always wondering, how would a little kid know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we always knew she was put up to say it.
Yeah, and then there was a video that was released of like her brother like coaching her. Like he was of him saying like of doing multiple takes of a video saying, "All right, you gotta be more ignorant. All right, you're not doing this correctly." And apparently she got like 2 million YouTube subscribers or whatever, which translates to good money on YouTube.
Okay.
And then she like a couple months ago went like social media dark. And
I didn't know about Lil Tay going off the grid.
Yeah, Lil Tay was off the grid, and then people were like, "What's up with Lil Tay? She hasn't posted anything to her Instagram. Like her Instagram was like totally wiped out." And so I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And like the last thing she posted was her apologizing for dropping an N-bomb in one of her videos.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing. That's the last thing she's posted. Now, it was all created by this like YouTube producer who was like, "I want to make this character, and we're gonna get fucking subscribers, and we're gonna make up beefs with other internet people."
But what's wrong with that?
It's just I was like I fell for it. I thought Lil Tay, like at the first I was like, all right, Lil Tay's just a crazy little girl. It's fucking making money off this thing.
Liz Sets Fire. Ask if we can get some original Chris time today. Maybe we'll bring both the interns in, get a little time for them. They seem to be almost in a deadlock right now. And you feel like Vito went out of his way to hurt original Chris.
Yeah, this is a smear campaign against original Chris, and I really don't like calling him original
look at
Chris.
these fun pants before we get into anything else. Those are some fun pants.
Fuck. Vinay's checker pants are ridiculous.
I feel overdressed now in just boring blue jeans.
You gotta step it up, original Chris.
I know.
No, you know what?
Reinvent my wardrobe.
No, here's the thing. He's the rugged guy from Australia. That's working with the ladies.
I'm gonna wear a
It
flannel.
works, and that's what I'm saying. I gotta get his style because I've been reading the comments on Twitter and Instagram, and the ladies love Chris.
Yeah, but like, you sound like Aziz, and that's got to be very helpful.
That's my point.
Did you see Aziz was at the Cellar last night with Kevin Hart
And Chris Rock.
Yeah.
My friend was out there.
What friend?
His name's Reggie.
Everybody's talking about him. He seems like he's an up and comer.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I'll tell you this, original Chris. I was going to give this bottle of bourbon to one of you guys.
By the way, before you say anything, would you like a water or something? Can I get you
That's
a water?
a very
or can I
nice
get
thing
you...
to say, but I've already
Do you
been
want
offered
more
my
water?
fifth.
Good work, original.
You guys are going to drown me right now. They're going to drown me. Now, as you heard, Chris thinks original Chris is on his way. So did Earl. And then Vito, he threw you, but just generally. He didn't even say what you're doing well. Now, Dean Delray is coming in here today, comedian. Are you familiar with his work?
No.
Very, very funny, West Coast guy. Maybe you can get him for your bar night.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe that'll be the thing. You know what I mean? This bar night of yours is going to be unbelievable.
I don't do that anymore.
What, you stopped doing your bar night?
No. Getting the guests.
Why?
To do bar night. You know?
What's the whole point of being here unless you can't try to turn it into a profit on the side?
Come on.
I think it's fantastic.
All right,
It's my
then I'll go
favorite
back
thing.
to it. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Vinay.
Look, when you wear David Lee Roth fucking 1978 pants like that, that's okay. And what are the sneakers today?
Hey, the Raf Simmons.
You're different sneakers every day, huh?
I try to.
Okay.
Try keeping it clean.
See, that's the shoe game, Earl. Shoe game.
I didn't know if Vinay was a sneakerhead.
I'm not even a sneakerhead. I just have like 3 or 4 that I like.
That almost came across racist the way you said it.
That's not being racist. I just that's what I know you call those people.
No, and young
Sneakerhead.
Those people.
us people.
What? Just people who wear shoes, who like shoes, sneakerheads.
No, it's like everyone under 25 like sneakers for some reason.
Oh, and Rich Voss, who's 60. He also, I'll be down at the fucking tower, and he's just going like this, just going to sneaker after sneaker. And he's showing D. Gaines and Monroe Martin. What do you think of these? I'm getting these. What do you think of these? And I go, what are you fucking obsessing about sneakers for?
Their shoes.
Yeah.
I very rarely spend more than $30 on shoes. I think my latest pair of shoes was $30 from Marshalls, and that's about it.
Okay, Chris, if you were going to do a walkabout, you're going to go deep into kangaroo coat. What would you be wearing? What kind of shoes?
If I was going to walk about,
Yeah.
probably just a pair of sneakers. That's all I've got. I haven't got anything else. I've got like just like a generic Nike, like a $50.
That's
pair
a
of
real
Nikes.
man because he doesn't care about fashion because he's worried about other things like skinning animals or, you know what I mean?
Poisons.
Like if there's
Hunting
going,
snakes.
look,
Punching kangaroos.
here's what is going to happen. If there's ever a terrorist attack on this building, we're all going to go look at original Chris like, dude, what do you do? What kind of fucking Aussie thing are you going to do to save us? You're going to be bouncing around trying to tell jokes to everybody, but hey.
No, I'm going to be the one in handcuffs.
Why? Oh,
If there's
because
a
you're the terrorist attack. I didn't even think of that. See, I don't see
don't see
the,
race?
Well, I do, but I don't say anything about it once I see it. Your background is considered South Asian now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that wasn't even a term until I saw that documentary about The Simpsons.
Yeah.
The Hurricane Balu.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
What'd you
Hari
think of
dog.
it?
I like Hari. I don't know.
Me too. He's come in and done the show.
Oh, yeah?
Always funny. And I thought the doc was well put together.
Yeah.
But did it offend you? Did you know to be offended about that character or not?
I see how it's like important to like change the narrative of like
Yeah.
like minority representation in media. So
Yeah.
I saw that was a big deal. But like I'm like you could call me brown, you could call me like Arab. I don't care. It's my offensive level is like a lot different from.
Right. So you're saying if it offends some people,
Yeah, I mean
but it doesn't offend you.
There's a difference when like a TV show or the media portrays like specific like South Asian minorities within the stereotype, but like it's different when it's on stage or it's like a bit or a joke.
I just
and this is funny.
decided you have a better voice than Aziz.
I
You got a
know,
really
I know.
good
I've been-
fucking voice. Earl, do you consider South Asians to be minorities? Because that was your role for many, many years. You've enjoyed it. You loved being, you know, like when you were younger, no one went, oh, what about the South Asians? You know, they get in the head. You didn't, that never came up. It was like, what are we going to do about the blacks? Did you feel like you got enough now that you could hand it off to the South Asians?
I don't think so because they're much larger population, global population.
So what? Africa's gigantic too, Earl. We're not talking about Africa. It's people in America. If I went to Africa, I'd be a minority. Still be running shit, but I'd be the minority. But do you see what we're saying?
Yeah.
It isn't the fact that there's plenty of people somewhere else. It's here. And we're trying to get woke, bro.
Yes, and I'm glad you are. But
Let me tell you something. If we don't get woke, we're going to get left behind. All right? We can't go through life like Australians. There's only 2 million of us, but we leave our country and we travel all over the world.
I will say this about the Hari doc.
Yeah.
Like what I saw that bought on from a lot of like other like comedians and even on Twitter is that like every marginalized group found a reason to like equate themselves to the struggle of like the African American or the gay man
Right.
in America. And I'm like, I find that a little like it almost is like one step forward, two steps back. Like we're just like we're not getting anywhere.
Right. So you feel like you don't want to whine and complain like the African American or the gay man. You want to take yours.
Not even like that. I'm just saying like this in America, the struggles of like the African American or the gay man are very different from like the Southeast Asian, you know? Like Southeast Asian like
Why
probably
didn't you
has it
understand
better.
we're saying Southeast Asian?
Or South, yeah. What do you mean?
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was the Southeast. I thought it was the whole South of Asia.
Because then there's like Thai people and that.
Oh, you don't like them?
No.
Okay, I didn't know.
There's inner racism.
I'll tell you this.
Oh my God, the most racist people on earth are like Indian people.
I didn't know
Really?
that.
Sure.
Well, you had the caste system. So
Yeah.
you're racist
They're
against your
our
own people.
Yeah.
I was fascinated with the caste system when I was a kid.
We hate
It was-
our own people.
Yeah, it was the only time I woke up in school. I'm like, what? Because I like being on the opposite side of, you know what I mean? Like, I like to hate the man. And this gave you like so many different people to hate.
It's almost more beautiful.
Yeah, it
You know,
is.
You don't have to hate anyone else. You got to hate your own people.
Hate your own. I guess white people have that where, you know, like people feel superior to rednecks.
Yeah.
You got like the crackheads, the hillbillies.
Yeah.
crackheads? I thought they were just crackers.
Well, crackheads are people who smoke crack.
Yeah, and I'm just saying-
Crackers
I thought you
was
were referring-
people that were on horses cracking whips. Did you know that where it came from?
Well, yeah, I've heard there's a couple of.
Do you know where the name honky comes from? Because you act like we talk out of our noses, Earl. And let me tell you something, that hurts so bad when that happened. When I found out that's why I'm a honky.
Keeps you up at night.
Oh, it does. All I've ever asked is for everybody just to respect the white man. That's it. The white straight man.
It's not too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Done a lot.
What's the race scene in Australia like? You racist against who?
Everyone, just about. We've got the Lebanese community that we're racist against, the indigenous community as well. The Aborigines get the rough end of the stick.
Yeah,
so
they do.
Yeah, pretty much anyone.
But a
who isn't
didgeridoo is so
Australian.
annoying. I don't give a shit who had it. I'd be like, you have to leave. A didgeridoo.
It's like a version of the vuvuzela. It really is.
It goes right through me.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts.
I
when
used to
hear
have
it.
one as a kid. We went around Australia when I was 10 years old, and we got a small didgeridoo. They're hard to play as well. I think the way you play it, you have to breathe out of your mouth but in through your nose, so they consistently make that sound. And I don't know how to do that, and so
You got a way better voice than Vinay. Let's fucking face it.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that voice is
Sorry, bud.
unbelievable.
Sorry.
And you teach us all about Aussie rules football. We're going to go to bars with you and watch it. We're going to headbutt
Oh,
each
yeah.
other.
And we can watch cricket as well. I saw a comment on the Instagram
Oh.
story. Someone mentioned about cricket. You don't like cricket?
Well, they play cricket
Oh, yeah.
too in South
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. You're from Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Out of all the places. A lot of people I know are from Pittsburgh. No one stays in Pittsburgh anymore. Everyone leaves Pittsburgh. And I went there expecting a hellhole. It's pretty nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. I thought you were a chick
It's a
who
good
lived around
city.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we were like in the outside of it. I didn't really spend much time inside Pittsburgh. Like the
They got
part?
the Warhol Museum. They got the best baseball stadium.
So
I saw
much
it from the
culture.
outside. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
the skyline looks great.
It's honestly I equate it a little bit to like New York on a microcosmic level. Like it's a lot smaller. It has like a lot of culture, a lot of
Yeah,
diversity.
that's every city. Every
No, but like
city's
Pittsburgh's like because it's like there's a big cities like Chicago, New York, like Austin, stuff like that. But then-
Austin is even as big as Pittsburgh.
well, this was now it's like these cities, these smaller cities are like having their own like culture scenes. There's like
You
music
know why,
coming out
right?
of them.
Hipsters are moving in. Just young white kids moving in. And suddenly, guess what? Hey, the city's great. That's what everybody says.
Well, even the rappers and stuff like coming out of Pittsburgh, Texas.
Well, you know what used to come out of Pittsburgh? Steel. You know what I mean?
Asbestos.
Something we could all care about.
Build
Now,
things.
yeah. It was a working city. Now you're like, oh, remember that plant? Yeah, there's a really great coffee shop there now. Lewis. Hold on with these fucking things. I've never liked this getup.
This is so funny.
Lewis, Manhattan.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I believe Earl's side of the story about him with the Tom Hanks and Angelina Jolie, and the reason why I believe that is because Chris already proved that he can't get his fucking timelines right. Because he was talking about the little Tay thing, and he was saying that she was into a fight with the what was it, the Cash Me Outside
Cash
girl.
Me Outside girl. Yeah.
Yeah, but they weren't really fighting. It was another girl named Whoa Vicky, and Little Tay was just hanging out with her. And Little Tay has been doing all that Instagram stuff before that video. Like, you made it seem like she just came out of nowhere from that video.
But that's,
And,
that's
you
when
know,
she
then
got
started
over.
doing
That's when
that
like
Instagram.
she really blew up because she got
I
associated
don't
with Cash Me Outside girl. Because she was talking shit to her in the background. Like she was with that little girl.
Yeah,
Little girl
she
was the
was.
most
But the whole, there's another girl you guys need to look up was that Whoa Vicky, because she's fucking nuts, and she says no what I'm saying like every 2 seconds. But yeah,
She's
it was
probably a fucking
really
liar,
about
too.
her. Yeah. Well, anyway, the fight was about her, and that from what I understand, that Little Tay, she was doing that stuff before all that. That
Sounds
video.
like he busted you. Why don't you just take it?
No, first of
Yeah,
all,
take it.
Earl said Tom Hanks when I asked him female celebrity he enjoys the most, and then I was correct. She got most of her fame. Like she really blew up when she started that beef with little.
No, but your
fighting on
exact
two
words
fronts,
was that
Napoleon.
she started doing
That's your
Instagram
problem.
stuff. Your words was she started doing Instagram stuff after that Cash Me Outside video, is what you said.
I said
Those were
He
your
fucking
words.
busted you. So what?
I'm not
He
busting
got
at anything.
Earl busted you, and now Lewis busted
Earl's a
you.
delusional liar.
Maybe you understand what's going on, but you just can't express it right. You're like fucking retarded.
No, I'm not special needs. Okay, I'm not going to use that word.
Good. That's smart. Get woke, brother.
It's just a small
All right,
step. toward
thanks,
wokeness.
Lewis. All right. Holly in St. Pete said, hard to believe it's been 7 years since the narc Zito cancer sucks benefit. He's still alive and kicking. None of us are surprised about that.
Mm-mm.
Wasn't that your original thing? You worried that he wasn't, or was it Fez that worried?
It was Fez who was first.
Thought it was a scam.
Yeah.
And he goes, Fez said to us, mark my words, this guy doesn't die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when he said
And then he flew up when he was supposedly using this cancer benefit because he needed it. He flew up for it. And then the Fez was just all over us about it. I just got a text that said, "I fucking told you." He never believed.
Angry.
He never. Well, he never believed.
We're giving you the props.
You
were right.
Still, don't be in a third fight.
Oh shit!
Don't be in a third fight.
Look, I'm 100% right in the Earl thing. The Lil Tay thing, the whole thing's shady. So who knows what happened when?
Her brother was managing her whole stick.
He was one of the managers,
Yeah.
I thought you said your brother. I'm like, fuck, what a coincidence. This has turned out fantastic. Dave in Columbus.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, man.
Can you ask your intern, what do the people in Australia, what's their opinion on the Crocodile Dundee movie?
All right, this is a very good question. This is fucking 30 years before he was born.
Well, obviously, most Americans that I first meet will mention either Crocodile Dundee or the Croc Hunter or anything like that, or Foster's beer or something like that. Things that are stereotypically
Right,
Australian.
Vegemite sandwich.
Vegemite as well. I've introduced Vegemite to a lot of people that I've met here. None of them like it whatsoever.
Yeah, I tried it once too. Nope.
Oh mate, I've got plenty of jars back at my place, so I love it. But
Ass.
yeah, it's funny because a lot of people just assume that that's kind of what Australia is and what Australians look like and how Australians act and how Australians speak, when in reality it's pretty much not like that at all. You'll get the odd person like that in very central Australia. If you go to Alice Springs or if you go to Darwin or something like that, you'll see people similar to that. But for the most part, we dress just like most Americans.
But let me just ask you this. Is this a knife or do you have something bigger that you consider a knife? Earl, where are you people from in Africa? Do you know?
No idea. I keep trying to. We got to do what's that? Ancestry or DNA? One of those.
Yeah, we'll do one of those DNA tests for you. I bet most of it is probably from Atlanta. I want to say that's where your people are basically out of. Now, when you look back at your family history, right?
Yeah.
Are you happy that they were slaves, or does that make you uncomfortable?
How do you know? I'm pretty sure there was a slavery in the lineage, but you know.
Well, look at your last name. You have the name Douglas is not an African name.
No, it's clearly
a slave owner's name. That's how people got their names, from the slave owner.
Yeah, I mean, but actually both sides of my family, I'm pretty sure there's Native American.
Black people always say that, and it never happens. I feel for you. Let's get a DNA test in here immediately.
I'm ordering it as soon as the show's over. And Ancestry is the one that will really go deep, so we'll get that one.
You won't need to go too deep.
There will be
It'll just say 100% African.
There's no fucking Native American.
What makes you think that you have Apache blood? Because it's never, no one ever is like, oh, I'm from some passive East Coast tribe.
No, my father.
I'm part Lenape.
My father, he said that his, I guess it would be my great grandmother. He said, I remember seeing her, and she had he had Indian features. There was a lot of.
Maybe she was Eskimo.
I don't know. And said she had really long hair. It went all the way down her back.
Did anybody ever bring it up, or was it kept on the down low?
No, it wasn't kept on the down low. His memory's hazy. He was like, I remember he might have been like 8 or 9 when he saw his grandmother.
All drunked up.
and drinking is runs pretty heavy in our family too.
Sure. I imagine.
Yeah.
You got plenty to drink about, Earl.
Which is why I don't drink.
How far back can you go with your family before you know, like, oh, that's where we run out?
Probably end of the Civil War.
Really?
Pretty far.
And you were freed? Your people were freed?
No, my grandmother was born in 27. Probably like.
Well, that was the Yankees. That was the year of the big Yankees. Did you think that the fucking Civil War ended in the 1920s?
No, but I'm thinking with my great grandmother would probably date back to the Civil War, end of the Civil War.
Yeah, but you're not basing that on anything. You're just guessing. Yes, you could say, oh, I must have some relative at that time, but what you want is something written that you can prove it.
Yeah, documents like when my grandmother passed, we barely had documents documenting her birth. We had to really find the birth certificate.
Ancestry's going to find all this out for us.
Good. We're going to take you back, girl.
You know, Mormons run all those genealogy.
Don't be racist.
No,
dude.
I'm being
just saying that it's Mormons is the most stereotypical thing you could do.
No, they definitely do. It's something to do with like, I don't know, they get like people's records and they become Mormon after death. I don't know, it's some weird Mormon thing.
It's the most anti-Mormon thing I've ever heard.
This
in my
isn't
life.
anti-Mormon, I'm just saying a fact about the Mormons.
By the way, you also told me that you do Mormon porn online. He told me that one day.
Yeah, I searched Mormon porn. It's fucking those short sleeved fucking button
You're
down
disgusting. And the way that you're saying that, you're fetishizing those people. And that's wrong.
I guess. Guys, we fuck girls taught us that today.
Don't bring them up either. Just try to stay the straight and narrow, dude.
All right. No Mormons. No guys we fucked.
Looks like we need to take a break. And I'm going to scream at Chris that he's going to cost us our license.
Oh.
You know why?
Why?
The Mormon line. I would just like to say, not just to the Mormon people, but everybody from Utah. Chris apologizes. He's an endling. He doesn't have a living relative. He comes to us deep in Queens, all the way out near the airport, I believe.
Oh, yeah, right by LaGuardia.
Where that big heist was held. Chris saw that when he was a baby. You ever go out to the airport and just try to steal some stuff?
Not lately.
I saw you go in and just take luggage and run back out to your car.
It's like a surprise, you know?
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's underwear, occasional dildo. All right, let's break here. Chris, you still staying with the same voting that you had with the two interns?
I'm original Chris all the way.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I was Vinay, but I moved over to original Chris.
All right. Thank you.
You know?
Good.
Look how comfortably he sits.
Yeah.
You're uneasy. You're not comfortable in your own skin. Yeah, there you go. Lounge a little bit. Are you, tell me the truth about your stand-up. Are you really funny?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. But does the audience think
Yeah, I mean,
so?
I always get laughs.
Do you
I
feel
just
like
am
you're
always the
over their
hardest
head?
critic. No, I don't think I go over their head.
Yeah.
I'm not typical. I'm pretty atypical.
Do you want to give us one of your jokes, something that you think that we would get in this room? I don't want to, put you on the spot.
Damn, I can say anything?
Yeah, anything.
I'm religious. It's hard being religious, because a lot of terms and names that are confusing, shit like that. Like, I don't really know the difference between a father and a pastor and a priest. Like, do you know the difference between a father, pastor, priest?
Yes. It's what religion they are.
Right,
Priest is Catholic.
It's like you call a priest father if he's Catholic, and daddy if you're the altar boy.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's edgy stuff, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just confusing.
That's good. Oh, you like that because you're anti-Catholic too, right?
I'm anti-Catholic. There's this. I'm a Baptist.
You don't like when anybody jokes about religion. You better not come to Gervais next week.
I am religious,
my
so I make all those jokes.
My feeling on it is
Yeah, but what is your religion?
I'm Hindu.
Yeah, that's not a religion. Let's break here. We're back, Bennington.
Welcome back to Bennington. Interview with Ricky Gervais is happening next Wednesday, September 26th at 5 p.m. at the Village Underground in New York City. You go to theinterrobang.com for a chance at free tickets. A chance.
Vito, how come there's some things that you come back as the announcer and some that you don't?
Because I didn't bring my sheet in here that has the information. I didn't want to get it wrong. And sometimes I'm just not in the booth, like I'm grabbing a guest. So we haven't figured out how to get around that. But the interns are here now, so they'll be helpful with that.
Weird. Very, very weird.
It's logistics.
I feel like this is our fault because you brought up something that you said was bothering you from your personal life. And I said that you should share it with the audience. So go ahead and do this.
So my best friend, who's been on the show once for Let's Dish, is Ian Lane. And he has started a sugar daddy relationship with an older gay guy.
Now, explain his age and height.
So Ian is 6'7", 27-year-old.
I mean, the fact that he towers over Vito is stunning.
Yeah, he makes me look short. But when he's not around, people forget that I'm a taller person. But 6'7", 27-year-old, handsome black dude. Went to a concert a while ago and met this older gay man.
What concert did he meet the older gay man at?
Actually, at a free, they won
Mamma
tickets. They won tickets to see Childish Gambino at a concert, and this guy ran into them there, and he just walked up to Ian and was like enamored by him, started buying him concert merchandise, and then took his information to become friends.
Ian immediately like, oh, this is a gay dude that digs me. And he's like, oh, that's cool.
He was like, yeah, that's cool. He was like, they were hanging out at the concert. They were drinking, having a good time. The guy was just like buying him stuff. And he was like, why not? Like, this is cool. But then he tells me they stay in contact. And then the guy starts saying, oh, man, I'm going to go to this basketball game. And I would love for you to be my guest. I'm going to go to Warriors Knicks. Going to get floor seats. Come with me. Meet me 45 minutes before. We're going to go in together. We have to go in together. That's part of the experience.
Is your question, is Ian gay? Is that the question?
No, my question is he taking advantage of this man? Because he has no intention of sleeping with the guy. And he's told me that. Like, there's no part of him that's even thinking, like, are you going to do that? He's just milking this for as much as he could get out.
How old is the guy?
The guy's in his 60s.
Okay. Let's just say we had a friend who was a tall, beautiful 27-year-old girl. And she was being taken all around with a guy in his 60s, but had no intention of sleeping with him. I think that happens.
Isn't that an escort, basically?
No, because she's not having sex with him.
But, like, aren't by escort, like, they're technically not supposed to have sex?
No, you're not. You're confused about what it all means. An escort is a prostitute.
Okay.
Also, I doubt Ian's the only one. Just hearing this, I bet this guy has other dudes he takes
I don't
out.
think so, because all the big events he invites Ian to.
Whether he does or not, is Ian a prick tease? Is this guy eventually thinking, I'll break him down until he finally gives in to me? Or is it just enough for him to sit and look at Ian, a fucking cut athletic dude, and that's plenty for him?
And they did have a falling out that they've since mended, where the guy was trying to get him tickets, and then Ian went out and bought tickets on his own. And then he got an angry, very, very angry email saying, I'm just fucking pissed at when people don't think I'm going to come through because I've done nothing but prove myself. You've really hurt me. And then the guy didn't speak to him for 2 months. And then recently started emailing him again saying, I'm really sorry about the way things ended between us. And I'd really like
I thought for sure you were going to tell us that he grabbed Ian's balls. I thought that's what went wrong.
No, not there yet. But he just got him. Me and Ian went to Gambino on Friday together. He goes on Saturday, is in front row, like 1 feet away from Childish Gambino. He was this guy's guest.
Yes, you can afford that when you're older and you have money.
Yeah, and this guy just likes taking him places. And he was like, after the concert, he was like, man, I can't wait for basketball season so we could go to some more games together. All floor seats. Always meet beforehand, hang out. It just feels
Let
like
him know the Giants are playing the Eagles.
You want to get in on this? He's got protective of this guy where he won't bring him around anybody else.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. Because I was like, why don't you do something nice for him? Like, why don't you like take him out to dinner or maybe bring him out when we all go out? And he goes, I'm not letting any of you guys get around him. This is mine.
Smart on Ian's part.
It's taking advantage. It's not the right thing to do.
I think this dude is getting exactly what he wants, or else he would have brought it up to Ian. Listen, I want to sleep with
you. You guys aren't fucking bringing in that maybe Ian's fucking at least letting this guy blow him.
That's a good point. It could be on
Thank
TL.
you.
I think he should at least let him blow. Like, that's not that crazy of a thing. You know, you're getting a blowjob and the fucking guy's doing all this for you. If that's what he might want, maybe he doesn't, but
you are radical. You are radical. I never thought that would be your point of view. Come on, give up a little something.
I'm not taking I'm not the one taking the tickets. It's all him. But if I was getting all this free stuff, you know, and I wanted to keep that thing going, you might have to give something up.
Would you give up the ass for it?
We'd have to get some fucking really good tickets for the ass.
Front row, Childish Gambino. That's your favorite artist.
That's not. But like I went to that like ass level would be like get me like World Series tickets behind home plate. 3 games, 3 home games, 1 away game.
Would it matter to you if the Mets weren't playing? Because if you go to the World Series and it's not your team, it's not like going to the Super Bowl and it's not your team. You're just fucking looking around like, I don't care.
It could be a shitty stadium. It could be.
You find yourself in fucking Houston. You're like, is there anything even to do tonight? If this game's over, is it too late?
But the asses, that's a level, like just to get a blowjob for like front row Gambino seats and some, floor Knicks seats, that seems like a fair trade. I'm fine with that, I think. No, you know what? I'm definitely fine with that. Fucking sign me up.
I thought you don't even like blowjobs.
No, I don't like hand jobs. Hand jobs are just useless. The angle's all wrong.
Okay.
But.
So you would let a old guy blow you if he got you front row tickets for
Gambino and multiple basketball floor seats. And these are like, he's not just getting shitty Knicks tickets. He's going to all the primetime marquee games. I know.
What about this? Could a guy run a batch on your face for the same fucking tickets? And you just kind of have your mouth up. You don't have your mouth on it, but you're just like, you're like doing a dog pant. Maybe he hits your tongue and the inside.
Come on the face. For some reason, that seems more personal than a blowjob, than getting blown. The jizz on the face. And it's his jizz, obviously, right?
No, he's bringing something in from home.
I just mean it's not like my jizz that's in my face.
Why are you jizzing while he's doing this?
Are you jacking while he's jacking?
I don't know if I'm getting a blowjob for long enough, I'm gonna probably come at some point.
Are you asking if he's gonna snowball you?
I didn't say. We never said spit into the mouth. We just said all over the face.
Homophobic Earl just threw off his fucking headphones.
Earl, you wouldn't do this.
I'm very surprised about this whole thing. And this is, this is the kind of shit that could end up like a murder-suicide.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, you guys weren't paying attention. Maybe Ian's just giving it up. Giving it up for your love. Everything. This thing's fucking up, Chris. Your job's fucking up again. By the way, Dean Delray will be here soon. Very funny comic.
But he's probably going to get to see the most expensive game this season in New York is going to be the Lakers when they come play the Knicks because it's fucking LeBron in New York City. Cheapest tickets, $250 just to walk into the building. Shittiest seats.
I wouldn't mind being there for the game.
He's going to be fucking on the floor for that probably, and all he has to do is maybe.
Kiss cam going to hit him and off he goes.
No, is it always just him and Ian, or is there other people there ever?
What, is it going to train?
That's what I'm thinking.
He met Ian with our other friend, Shaka, and Shaka gets invited along sometimes as well, who's another tall, young black man.
This guy's the type, doesn't he?
It seems like he does, but he's always had more interest in Ian. Ian's always been the target. Like, Ian's the one who gets the initial email, and he says, I would like to invite you and Shaka. It's never an email to both or a text to both. He also uses mostly email because he has a flip phone.
Sure, it's a burner for all the other dudes he's talking to.
Or he's a dealer. Maybe something fucking weird's going down.
Has he ever offered Ian drugs?
No.
Why are you sounding like a cop? You suddenly fell into this whole weird thing.
I don't think he's offered him drugs, no. But he buys them, he gets them all boozed up at shows and shit. He gets them all nice and drunk and like buys them whatever he wants there.
And it doesn't even end with a kiss?
No kiss, no nothing.
By the way, Liz, who just got off a Pete Dominic fight, which most people are saying she won, although Pete Dominic got to do the radio tour everywhere but here. Liz said Vito would give up ass for a chicken parm hero.
It's below my price level.
That friend of yours no longer works at Parm, right?
No, not anymore. New place nearby here. I don't know the.
What are they? What was their specialty? Something we might like?
It's a brasserie. I just know that it's a brassiere. I don't know anything else other than that.
I was like, we're not getting food. Chuck, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys, I imagine, in San Francisco waiting for Vito to plug his Grinder account.
I don't have a Grinder account. I'm just saying, if somebody wanted to fucking take me out and show me a good time, there might be benefits on both ends.
Why didn't you say that to fucking Fez years ago?
I don't think Fez is ever interested in me.
Vito, you're a doll. Everybody's fucking interested in you. Look at that picture of you in Lamborghini.
With my exotic car, my Lambo, and my cargo pants.
So sad looking, though. Why don't you draw a little cat face on yourself and put it up on Grindr?
That was mainly my look back then. I'm more embarrassed about the cargo pants than anything else, to be honest.
That's great. You got extra pockets to put whatever, I don't know, more food in.
I think I had a longer neck back then, but it wasn't there.
It's just everything else is the same except for your legs were short. Why are you depressed about your cargo pants?
It's just such a shit. It's a very early 2000s look. I have my fucking my black Nike tee.
Yes, you're you were part of your decade. You should be. What are you, future boy? Dressing like you should be now?
Should be wearing skinny jeans.
Look, you ever see that Zach Galifianakis do the guy from Queens who's interested in cargo pants? Cargo shorts?
No.
You ever see that bit? So this is the impression. He does it. He does it way better. Are those cargo shorts? That's the whole thing. I have a feeling that he actually heard someone say that one.
I didn't know cargo shorts weren't popular until 3 years ago when I wore a pair. Just got fucking ridiculed by everybody.
By who? I'd be like, hey, Ian, you fucking go out and fuck old guys. Hey, is this an old white guy or old black guy?
Old white guy.
Man, that guy's really fucking,
He likes him young. He's got 2 right now.
Who was going to like him old? Who with money is like, oh, I hope I get an old fucking person. It's like fucking drafting somebody for your football team. You want them about the same age. No one's looking for a veteran.
He's very happy of it, proud of it. He brags about it to people.
Ian is?
Yeah, fucking brags about it to people.
About fucking and sucking this guy?
No, none of the fucking suckings come up. But he just bragged to people. He was like, yeah, I'm going to Gambino tonight because, I'm going with my friend. I forgot the guy's name. My friend who's just obsessed with me and likes to bring me places. He likes the attention. He has a big ego.
All right. It's a weird story.
I just think he's taking advantage of this poor man.
Wait till he fucking beats the guy up and goes through his fucking his wallet.
Poor man. He's loaded.
But I know, but it's like you shouldn't take advantage of somebody like that who's obviously and you should lead somebody on. It's emotions.
He's taking advantage of the kid too. He wants a fucking. It's like when you see Gurian going around with a fucking pretty girl in his arm. You know what I mean? Like Gurian does that. I don't know whether he sleeps with him. He wants people to go, oh, look at Gurian. He's got a pretty girl.
So Ian's like one of those Gurian girls.
Yeah, he's a Gurian girl.
Is it Gurian who's taking them out to these things?
If I found
Chris,
out,
you know what? Your homophobia knows no bounds.
That changed my entire perspective on this to know that Ian's one of Gurian's angels.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And like we said, for all we know, he's fucking around with the guy a little bit. Like maybe kissing him on the way home.
I basically at least sent him at least a picture without his shirt on, or maybe even a dick pic.
Shirtless picture's not
maybe
that big.
Gave him an old jock. Okay, here, put this over your fucking head. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
But now you've been bringing up Ian seems gay.
Because of what he's doing or just in general?
No, I always thought he was a little gay. From hanging out with you, I guess.
It is a pretty gay look, what we do. We're together pretty much 5 days a week.
I'm picking up on this. You're fucking jealous of this old dude.
I'm not going to lie. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of Ian more than the old dude. The situation seems fucking great. You just get to go to nice parties. You get to go to fucking night concerts. I paid $375 to go to that concert with him the night before, and then he has better seats the next night for free. And he got free merch.
The only fucking straight guys in history that had your point of view were heroin addicts. No non-John. This is Jim Carroll fucking Basketball Diary stuff.
Seems like a good situation to be in.
I don't know. I don't know how you fucking kids have changed.
We'll take it. It's a capitalist society.
I guess you're right about that. You fuckers would do anything for fucking money.
And Gambino tickets.
It's one of the things. I mean, Gambino tickets, basketball tickets. Those are the only two things he's gotten, but those are fucking big things. And he said to him he could get him into SNL when he wants, I think, because he saw he slept outside the street for it.
This guy's got the town wired.
Yeah, man. He also he showed me an email he got from him, and just something I found interesting is he still uses a Roadrunner email. And I don't know why I found that really funny.
He's an old dude. You don't fucking change with the times.
There's just certain email addresses you still see, like when you see like an Earthlink.
Right now, fucking Ian's the road runner, and this old dude's the coyote. Almost getting them. I don't know, Vito. This whole fucking John thing that you're into, I don't find to be too healthy. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm not saying if you're gay, you're gay. But this whole thing of like, hey, if I get the things I like, I'll let old dudes do whatever they want to me.
Not whatever they want. I said I would probably stop at getting blown. Not even stop it. That's just my entry point, and that's my final. That's it. It's just.
Do you see yourself as bi?
No, I don't see myself as bi. I don't find the penis attractive. But
the butt.
No, I don't see.
You just yelled out butt.
You're an ass man.
I'm not an ass. I mean,
there's people writing to me that they don't think that he could take it in the ass. They said that he's too. He's not up for the fucking commitment it would take to be an anal guy.
What's the commitment it takes?
It's gonna hurt a little bit the first couple of times, until you're fucking stretched out. And you are not a guy who, let's say, you've had an easy life.
Not that.
You're not good around pain.
There's been some pain, but no, I don't think I'd stick. I don't think I could stick with the ass stuff. The gay guy I work with told me if I was gay, he looked at me and he said power bottom.
Of course. You're not going to be on top. You'll kill somebody. You're going to be on the bottom flopping.
It felt like a compliment because power bottom, you're in charge. So I was pretty excited about that compliment. He told me at the Sunset Social last week.
Earl, you're very familiar with the down-low from your society. Is he gay?
It sounds like if his friend's into it and seems to be enjoying his company, they clearly enjoy each other's company and the perks that go with that. He's clearly, and the older gentleman seems to like the idea of.
I like that you're calling him a gentleman. You have nothing but respect for this old fucking hawk.
I mean, they're two adults and they're doing adult things. You know what I mean?
Literally.
and if there's no proposition,
this reminds me of you and your baking girlfriend. What's her name?
Oh, Lily.
No. Oh, I saw Tom Papa the other night, and I invited him and Lily in together to bring some of her baked goods. He has a TV show now called Baked.
Cool.
So tell her about it.
Oh, definitely. But it just seems like this is a mutual relationship. There's nothing clear. I don't think there's anything sexual going on.
If there was, would you think it was prostitution?
No. I mean, isn't it different than when a guy's taking a girl out on a date? Trying to impress her.
Does this remind you of you and Scotzo when you broke into the business as a young, beautiful intern?
No, not at all. We had a great friendship.
Scotzo used to make Earl take off his shirt and dance to the world is a ghetto.
No.
But that it's true. Earl would go back and forth. Scotzo would be like, that's it, Earl. Yeah. Airbase. Airbase, Earl. I think Ian is gay, and I think so is Vito.
Yeah, I mean, Vito's definitely gay.
It's on the table for Vito.
I wouldn't consider myself gay. Not that it would be a bad thing, but like I said, I'd stop at a blowjob, getting blowed. I wouldn't give one. I don't have any interest in blowing a man. It's just the penis kind of disgusts me.
Kyle in Washington.
Hey, Ron. So my kind of a different situation. My sister, she's a pretty cute girl. There's a guy who's a real estate developer. He's got tons of money, but he pays for her to go to NBA games, takes her to Hawaii, all this stuff, and they've never slept together, not once. He likes to be surrounded by beautiful girls.
Kyle, are you Tom Arnold?
I might be.
You sound exactly like him.
Oh no!
By the way, Kyle, your sister is having sex with this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she said she had it.
She's lying to you.
I mean, we have a really good relationship, and I think she would tell me.
I have a good relationship with a lot of people. I never tell them who I'm having sex with. Here's what I think is going to happen. Ian, along with Vito's help, are probably going to beat this old man to death with hammers one night, and then it's going to end up on Dateline.
We'll see them on security camera footage from an ATM.
I've never even met the guy.
You don't have to. Because eventually Ian will be banging this guy, get a key to his
Why don't you
apartment.
fucking go to a game in your cheap seats? You're looking down with your binoculars to see what they're doing. See if fucking he's not just like feeling Ian up. See Ian put his hat down and fucking go to the guy's crotch. But this was a childish act. That was murder, not Childish Gambino. You think this Atlanta thing should have been Childish Gambino? I don't know why you didn't bring that up. The Atlanta Super Bowl.
I don't think he's there yet for Super Bowl.
Oh, he is.
Halftime show.
He's there.
I mean, I would love it, but it's just I don't think the general public looks at him as that level yet.
You think they're going to fucking look at Maroon 5 as if they're enjoying themselves?
But the Maroon 5 is just so generic and easy that all of America is just going to either like it or skip it. There's not going to be anybody enraged over it.
Dean Delray is stopping in here. You going to go down and get him, Vito?
Yes, I am.
He has a podcast, Let There Be Talk. That's available now on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. And this is pretty cool. Dean's opening for Bill Burr next Friday, September 28th, at the LA Forum. You can see Dean's appearance on Conan last week on YouTube. I didn't know that he did Conan last week.
He was on Conan, yeah.
Did we plug it?
We did not.
So you're just watching it yourself?
He asked me to plug it.
Who's he?
Dean Delray.
Was on the iBang. Ba-ba-boom. DeanDelray.com. DeanDelray.com. Now, before he started doing stand-up, Dean toured for 25 years as a rock and roll musician. And this is, what is this off of an album that he did?
This is off his album, Lone Mountain Serenade. This is Mr. Guitar.
All right, let's play that and then we'll bring in Dean Delray.
Dean Delray's in studio. Dean's podcast, Let There Be Talk, is available now on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. And Dean's opening for Bill Burr next Friday, September 28th at the LA Forum.
And that was an original song by Dean, and we were all digging it. Earl, seriously, you give it a thumbs up?
Big thumbs up.
Yeah, Earl is old school New York radio, WNEW, for a lot of years. And that really did have that sound, didn't it, Earl?
And that Rod Stewart, 70 songwriters vibe. To
right.
Yeah, man. I mean, of course, early on, I loved just rock, straight rock and stuff. But like in the 90s, man, I really got into Wilco, Sun Volt, Jayhawks, Ryan Adams, Lucinda Williams, Wallflowers, Counting Crows. All of that thing started hitting, and and then it was just a head explosion for me. It's just like, wow, it was a breath of fresh air. All these people were playing instruments and singing harmony vocals and all that. I was like, wow, this is just smoking.
Yeah, and a lot of those bands had really good players in it. Like if you go see Counting Crows, you're like, oh shit, these guys are really fucking top notch.
Some of those guys played on my record. The guitar player in Counting Crows and the drummer from the Counting Crows were in my band also at the time.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, so they played on that record right there. And, there was a great scene in San Francisco. There was a big kind of alt country and singer-songwriter scene. Guys like Chuck Prophet, Linda Perry, who was Four Non Blondes, and Sister Double Happiness, all these bands that were big in the city. That scene was big there, and Wilco was huge in the city.
That was the last time that you could kind of live in San Francisco without being incredibly rich.
That was the end. The first explosion was what they called the dot-com era in the 90s, and that kind of ruined the city big time. People came in, they had stocks in these fake companies. Yeah. They thought they were all billionaires, and then everything just kind of blew away and people moved away. But then the techies rolled in, and now it's they haven't learned their lesson. It's worse than ever now.
It's more expensive than New York City, which really is incredible to even think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how kids live in New York. I find it just unbelievable when I see like 6 or 7 of them are sharing an apartment. And I think when I was younger, how cheap it was to get an apartment. I remember I would do gig work just enough to pay, the month is done. I'll fucking kick back for a while.
Yeah.
And I see these kids now, they're working 2-3 jobs. They're going, and I'm like, but where are you having your youth fun? You know what I mean? But the whole point of being alive is to have some fun, isn't it? Particularly when your body is at its absolute best, and you're never going to get that experience again.
That's what I said about San Francisco. Like, my rent was like $250.
Yeah,
and I could just hustle that at a couple gigs a month, and then the rest was just straight fun, man.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like zero working. I'm talking out day drinking, night drinking, playing music, and just wherever you were at, you're like, this is it,
the funny thing is, and Vito came out of college, I don't know, were you $100,000 or more in debt, Vito? When you came out of college?
I was $200,000 in debt.
$200,000 in debt.
Yeah, see ya.
And they think, if I really work hard, someday I'll have fun. No, dude.
No.
This is even if you get wealthy later, you're going to travel like an old person, not like a young person.
Yeah. I always say I'd rather work 7 days a week, 18 hours a day for myself than, 5 days a week, 10 hours a day or whatever for someone. That's just like, I've always gambled on myself, and also I've always been an artist, and I love being on stage. I've been on stage 32 years, and I've never made money. A little money here and there gets me through, but I'm happy as hell.
Well, you did something that I think I can't think of another person who did it, went from rock and roll for years into doing stand-up comedy. You're doing Conan, you're opening for Burr. I mean, that's in the top 1% of this business. People who get to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it was. What I realized is like I always wanted to do comedy my whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, nobody knew how to do comedy.
Right.
You know what I mean? You were like the neighbor kids weren't doing comedy, but I'm 52. So I grew up on the original Saturday Night Live. I love John Belushi. I love Bill Murray. I was way into that, and I was way into Pryor and Cheech and Chong, but I didn't know how to do it. So I played music, and next thing you know, years go by, and then once illegal downloading happened and the wheels fell off, I was like, well, I might as well try this now. At 44.
Well, what's really funny too? You bring up like the way people still don't understand how much the music business changed. And I've talked to the biggest fucking stars in the business, and they're just going, my whole catalog is worthless now.
Yeah.
Like Brian Wilson said, my catalog is worthless. The Beach Boys catalog is worthless and it also was like the end of rock too when that happened, because when you stop putting a price tag on it, people gave it zero value.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that happens a lot too, even with comedy now. Everybody wants everything free. You know, my podcast is free. Then they want free tickets to get in. Then, hey, how about a free shirt? And it's really mind-boggling. You know, like my podcast is fairly large. And I'll say, hey, you want to donate something to Patreon? Go ahead.
Yeah.
There's 130 donators out of over 100,000 listeners.
Yeah.
That just show, and you know, I don't do it for the money or whatever. I absolutely love doing the podcast, but it is so much work.
Yeah.
But it's funny if I went away tomorrow, they would just find a new podcast.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, nobody holds on to anything anymore.
Yeah.
And the same, like, I literally was thinking of this if like Letterman left, okay. You know, Regis, who had been in that morning show for years, okay, he's gone. There's nobody that's not replaceable.
Yeah. Yep. And that's why I think you got to just make sure you love what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I love what I'm doing. If I cared about any of that, I would have been out years ago.
Right.
When rock was completely dead and I was playing to like 20, 30 people. It wasn't about that.
Do you get concerned about that happening with comedy, though? Because, I mean, that bubble, I mean, we're really in a bubble time.
We're in a big bubble. I understand that, you know.
And, you know, people going, do you think this will keep up? And you're like, I don't know if anything can keep up, you know?
I don't really look at it like that. I think the people that really love it will just keep doing it. And the people that were part-time in it, maybe to get into TV shows or get something out of it, will disappear from it immediately. And then the cream will stay at the top, you know?
Yeah.
I believe that.
By the way, I don't know if there could be a worse way to get a TV show than to tell them that you're
I love people that I love the agents. They're like, you know, what you ought to do is try put together like 5 and just get some stage presence. It's good for auditioning.
Yeah.
You know, these people come in, you're like, oh, I mean, look, I started 8.5 years ago. I stepped on the stage. And, you know, I started at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, one of the number one club besides like the Cellar in America.
Yeah, it's the West Coast Cellar.
Yeah, and it was brutal, the hazing and everything. But I was hit immediately by it. Like, oh, this is what I should have been doing the entire life.
Who were the dudes when you got out there? Who was the guys that were like at the store where you're like, they're running the show.
When I started 8.5 years ago, you know, of course, Burr was there. You know, he wasn't as big as he was. It was right when I first met Burr. It was a few years after the Philly rant.
Yeah.
So he was starting to really fire on all cylinders. But the dudes down there, Daniel Tosh was murdering nightly, just schooling people. Of course, Maron was in there.
Yeah.
And he was really killing. That was when the podcast was really starting to take off, because the podcast is 10 years old now. Maron's is. Who else? Of course...
but that's going to define you, right? The time that you come in, you know what I mean, you're going to look up at that and go, I'm not going to copy these guys, but this is the way it's done. This is the level that it's done.
I was there. The store, it runs 15 comics a night.
Yeah.
And the genius of comedy was right away, I was like, oh, they let me sit in the back, because this is before the store was booming again.
Right.
It had this ghost town time. You could just go in there and watch all 15 guys. So what I would do is I'd go do open mics all night, and then I would head to the store and just watch these people. I'd watch how they brought them up. I would watch how they would handle resetting the room, from a guy that did crowd work to a guy that was like really big to a guy that was really quiet. And I watched all the techniques and everything. And it was like being in comedy college.
Right.
You know? I learned everything. And then, you know, Chris Rock popped in. This is like one of my favorites of all time. Dave Chappelle's here. Holy shit, you know, and that kind of stuff was happening at the store. And it was, and I learned it was really rock and roll vibe. It still is. The store is the last thing that's still got that rock and roll flavor besides the cellar.
Yeah.
You know, everything else is kind of hip hop in LA and in the States, you know?
Yeah.
But those are rock and roll, man. The store's on the Strip.
Sure.
It's black. It's painted black. You know, my name's on the front out there. It's like, wow.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody, you know, the Strip used to be that would go through whatever was the rock and roll thing at the time. You know what I mean? Like you go all the way back to the 60s and it had that kind of mod thing. And then later in the 70s, it was the singer-songwriter and then the hair band thing of the 80s. That's when Kinnison and Dice were big.
Totally.
And, you know, and you look at those guys, they all kind of look cartoony, just like rock was kind of cartoony at the time. And then, you know, now you look, we don't have that connection to rock the way we used to.
Right.
And let's face it, hip hop is fucking old, Earl.
Yeah.
It's been around a long time.
It's had its run.
Yeah, it has had its run.
I'll tell you what,
45
there's
years.
great music out right now, though, man. Rock music that, I mean, there's so much I can barely keep up, and it's one of my daytime gigs for my podcast.
Right.
But there is ton. To me, it's gone back to the old school of like when I was in high school, there was only 4 or 5 kids listening to rock. In the 70s, you'd be at the locker like, dude, have you heard this Kiss record? What about this Zeppelin? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it got to the 80s where everyone was big.
Right.
You know? So it's kind of back to that now.
So you're saying at that age there was kind of more of a disco and a pop thing happening?
It was pop, you know, it was top 40 radio.
Yeah.
Then you had disco and you had some punk going, you know, and then you had rock.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like AC/DC before they become the AC/DC now.
Yeah.
I'm talking about early Ted Nugent. I'm talking about, you know, a UFO, that kind of stuff that wasn't huge, but people knew. You know? And that was that's what I always look forward in my comedy is like a grassroots building, like a Metallica, where you're building something for years and one day you're like, holy shit, look what I got.
I was just telling that to Earl. How many records did they put out before they crossed over? And by the time they crossed over, they're selling arenas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's selling arenas. And I remember when I first started in radio, I went to see Metallica, and there was something about, you know, since I was doing radio, you could do the stage announcement, and the band's management is like, you guys don't even fucking play us. You're not going to mention your call letters here. And there was like 17,000 fucking kids. And I'm like, that's fucking rock and roll. Cool. I get it completely. Yeah. And I think I think that's part of my ear damage was that night. I literally think it was during Master of Puppets where I'm like, something just fucking broke. I felt it break. But isn't that amazing? You could draw like that and have that kind of fan base.
Oh my God.
And no, you're not getting TV at that time. You're not getting radio at that time.
That's a dream, you know, 'cause that's all organic going down to like, I always said there was not a good looking dude in the band.
Mm-hmm.
So you're already that's a strike against labels, you know what I mean? Then they're basically inventing a new genre of music that nobody's doing. So there's another thing record companies aren't going to understand, or radio or magazines. And then they're nonstop touring like globally, not just the States, a couple weeks here and there. These guys are in the nooks and crannies of Europe and stuff, playing festivals, getting piss bottles thrown at them and shoes and quarters and laying into it and surviving and taking one fan at a time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that was, and now they're out, and Jimmy Brewer is doing a weird opening show for it. He was telling me about that he's doing like, it isn't stand up. It's almost like a pre-party.
Is it like a rock and roll karaoke or something?
Yeah, he said they're doing heavy metal karaoke, and they're got the screens up, and he'll talk with Lars backstage. And I'm like, when I first heard it, I'm like, this is weird. And then by the time he's done telling me about it, I think I'd like to see the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be really strange.
I did the Rock on the Range last year, Brewer and I, in Columbus, Ohio. Metallica was the headliner.
Yeah.
And we're in this giant tent. Metallica's in the huge outdoor thing. But while we were on, Hetfield came. He snuck back in a golf cart behind and watched a little bit of the comedy show as well.
That's weird, right?
Yeah, I grew up with those guys, the Metallica guys, and I saw Kirk Hammett that day, and we talked for about a half hour. It was wild. I was like, here we are, 40 years later or something, and we're in Columbus, Ohio together. We're both alive, and we're both performing. It was just a mind boggler, you know?
Well, you know, the thing is, your stand-up, you're not explosive. You're kind of smaller on stage and into your own scene, and then just really dependent on your material. So what do you do when you're playing a big venue like that?
Like, I've been doing some big events, big venues with Burr, and I realize since they've got the screens, it's a lot of the face.
Right.
So you do the you do the same thing you would be doing in a small club, but maybe a little slower. That's what Marin told me when I first started doing the bigger rooms. He goes, go slow, because you're only hearing the laughs from the first 5 rows.
Yeah.
And by the time the back is done, you'll roll right over those laughs. So he was right. I learned that immediately. Go slow and just do what you're doing, because the cameras are going to all pick it up. You know, you don't want to try to, like I did Oddball, and on that one, it was Chappelle and some other guys, and I wanted to see how they did a huge place.
Yeah.
If they changed, and they didn't get much bigger, you know. It is fun to get big sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you know that they can see it really good on the screens. You know what I mean? So I'll do something extra kind of crazy.
Chris, you don't promote anymore? You're not plugging?
I apologize. Dean Delray's podcast, Let There Be Talk, is available now on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Dean's opening for Bill Burr next Friday, September 28th at the LA Forum. You can see Dean's appearance on Conan last week on YouTube. And for all of Dean's dates, go to DeanDelray.com.
Had you done Conan before?
Never.
Yeah.
I have no manager, no agent. 8.5 years. No one will touch me because I'm 52 years old. They don't understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there's not something easy and spelled out, they're not sure what to do with it. Like, what do we do with him? You know, so I just make my own way.
But you, how do you get these acting? You're in movies, you're in...
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Before I started comedy, I was selling Harley Davidsons. You know, I was like, what do I love? Well, I love motorcycles. I never had a job. You know, I did construction when I was young. You know, so let's do something I love. So I'm selling motorcycles, and one day Quentin Tarantino's people walk in to the Harley dealer I'm at, and they said they're doing a biker movie, and if I would help advise on it. And I said, yeah, I'll do that. And I was helping him. And the next thing you know, I landed a role in that movie. It was called Hell Ride.
Yeah, that was a bit...
the Grindhouse ones, remember?
Yeah. It was a Joey Bishop's kid that is it Larry Bishop?
Yeah. And so I did that. And the producers after that were doing a football movie called The Long Shots with Ice Cube. I landed that movie. A part in that.
And this is before even stand-up.
Yeah, and here's how I start stand-up. I'm doing the movie, and it's like a 2-month shoot in Shreveport. And I'm just like, how weird is my life? I'm now in movies, you know? I don't even know what I'm doing at all. And I'm out in Shreveport, and there's 3 comedians in the movie. Earthquake, Garrett Morris, and Michael Collier. And now here I am, like full circle. There's Garrett Morris, who I grew up with on SNL watching. And so I started talking to those guys, and I was like, hey, I want to get into comedy. And they're like, get out of here, man. You
Yeah,
know?
right.
You're like, you're too old. You know, they're like clowning me. But as we started doing the movie, we were ad-libbing on the script a lot. And I think they realized, hey, this guy, I'm riffing some funny stuff. So after Earthquake, after the 2-month shoot, he goes, "Hey, I think you could do comedy. Just go home and Google some open mics and find them and start doing it." And I was like, "What do I do? Write stuff?" He's like, "You'll figure it out. Just go to those open mics."
Write stuff.
And I went, "Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know at all. Like, I have zero idea." And I love comedy. Like at the time, I used to go see Seinfeld all the time and Chris Rock. I saw Chris Rock many times on tour. I brought Chris Rock up at the store a few years ago, and it was like, oh, this is one of the reasons I do comedy.
Right.
You know, I went and saw him a couple times at the Paramount Theater in Oakland. But I started comedy, man, and then I started once comedy. Then casting agents would see me at shows. That's a great thing about being in LA.
Yeah.
And they go, "Hey, I got a part for you. Stop by." And then Judd Apatow gave me a part in Love this year. And people like that. You know?
Well, you know what's kind of interesting? The fact that you start it later, I think you're able to absorb more because you have more experiences in your life. Where I think a lot of guys that start at like 18, 19, they're the ones that take 10 years to find their voice. Because an adult has a voice, not not an 18, 19-year-old. So you already had your view of the world. If something comes up on the news, you're going to know the way you feel about it even before you go for the joke.
Yeah,
You know?
And also, I've traveled the world.
Yeah.
You know, I played music, and then I worked for the Rolling Stones for 4 years. So I've been around the world 4 times. I've seen different cultures. I've seen different stuff. I've ate different foods.
Yeah.
I've, hung out with different people, rich, poor, medium, everything. So I've taken in all kinds of stuff. And I still think that I'm going to get way better later on when I can learn how to tell a really funny story, booming all the way through, you know?
Yeah.
I think once I get that and have another bullet in the chamber, I'll be even better, you know?
Well, it's very funny that you would say that because Bert Kreischer to me is one of the great storytellers.
Right.
And what I always think is interesting about Bert is it's really unusual to be the good storyteller and then the crazy subject of that story.
Right.
Normally it's something like, I have a buddy, and then you tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who does run off with the Russian mafia normally doesn't tell the story, he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the key to pull that off. You almost have to go meta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From that. But yeah, your life on the road, you should be filled with stories.
I am filled with them, and I'm trying to figure out how to do them because not everybody likes rock and roll, and I don't want just a rock and roll crowd.
Right.
I never wanted to be the rocker comic or the biker comic. I just wanted to be a comedian, so I was really leery on boxing myself in. I just wanted to be a funny comedian.
Yeah.
And I know that if you try to, that's an easy way to go. I'm going to be the rocker comic. I'm going to do all the rock festivals. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that at all. People try to box me in on that early on. And, it'll be easier. It's like, so what? It'll be like a dead end at the end, you know? So I really want to have some universal stories, you know. I did do a great story of smoking angel dust with Motorhead for Ari Shaffir storytelling.
Yeah.
I did it as an audition at the Comedy Store, and the next day Lemmy passed away. It was so fucking weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
We were like, whoa, because I'd never told the story, and I did it on camera as an audition. So that was pretty bizarre, and it's a great story. And I got some great stories of playing music, but I also have some just great stories from life. You know?
You know what's interesting is most of these guys have no idea what angel dust was.
Oh, yeah.
And that was such a big thing
I know.
when I was younger.
Yeah.
And those fucking highs, you know what I mean?
Oh.
There's not a drug that's like that.
No.
And then I'm like, I look back now and I go, why did I smoke so much angel dust? I don't know how many times I even enjoyed it. I couldn't tell you.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I remember the first time I was with Motorhead backstage, and they're passing a joint around, and I don't even really smoke weed because I'm more of an up guy. I like coke and speed and shit back then. And they passed it to me, and I didn't want to be like the pussy in front of Lemmy.
Yeah.
So I just took a hit off it, and I blew it out, and I go, that tastes it tastes like lemon pledge. and one of the guys looked over at me and he goes, "That's the Crazy Eddies, mate." And I go, "Crazy Eddies? What's that?" And he goes, "The angel dust." And I looked at him like, "Oh, he's bullshitting," right? And 5 minutes later, man, they're like, Motorhead was on playing,
Can't
and I
believe
was
that.
still trying to get out of the dressing room.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they were up there playing flawlessly, and I couldn't move. My feet felt like metal and the floor was magnets. I was just trying to get out of the venue to get home. I was like, I gotta get out of here. And I kept thinking of those kids from the High School movie that jump out the window off the overpass. I'm like, I'm gonna jump off an overpass. Oh.
It's so funny that you bring up because it's kind of trippy, but it's not tripping. But your body will lock up on you.
Yeah.
And we would call it knick-knack because sometimes you would just be like a knick-knack in the corner and everybody would laugh at you.
Knick-knack.
Yeah. And then one time my friend was he's fucking high as shit on angel dust and just starts going like this. Oil can. Because he was fucking like the Tin Man. He couldn't fucking move.
Lube him up.
Yeah.
Lube him up.
He literally had it like, I'm like the Tin Man. And he did oil can. And we were fucking laughing.
Oh.
But then I was like, I don't know if we're ever coming down, guys. This might be it for us from now on.
It's elephant tranquilizer is what it is. You remember that scene? I loved it in Training Day. You like to get wet.
Yeah.
Man. He's driving like,
And people would go like this. This is like a synthetic weed, and everybody was fucking buying it.
Whoa.
These little $15 spoons. And everybody in my fucking neighborhood did it.
Just dusted all the time.
Yeah, but it was a different high because you snorted it. But then sometimes it was even like sometimes you would do rails like it was coke, but other times it'd be like match. We called it match. So it was just the tiniest bit of it, and you were gone for 14 hours.
Whoa, it's amazing. Like I would snort anything up my nose. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
It's crazy. Guy would just be at a party here. You're like, anything to go up your nose.
Yeah.
Like crazy. No questions asked.
What is this, crank?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like fucking shoving a pencil up your nose.
Oh my God, like the back of your head would blow out on the wall, man. Oh, and then you're up for 3 days making models and bowling.
Biting the inside of your mouth.
Oh my God.
I remember in the summer, the fucking crank would melt and you'd actually have to eat it and it would be the worst
gross
fucking taste, but you were such a fucking little weirdo that you would just do it. You would go through that.
It's so true, man. It's so true. I had a guy on my podcast and he was talking about the new meth because I'm way out of that now, and he brought some with him to show me, and it's like the stuff on Breaking Bad. It's like blue glass,
right?
And he goes, you know how weed is, like I live in California part-time, and weed there is so bionic and next level.
Yeah.
Well, that's how meth is. These like millennial chemists have figured out it's no longer this biker bathtub crank.
Right.
These guys are making this stuff from the way he explained it. It's all electrical, and it's almost like rock candy how it forms up, and it's pure meth. And like one bump and you're gone for a few days.
Who's interested?
Who's interested?
Yeah.
I worship sleep now. It's amazing how much I love sleep.
Yeah. I only wish I could get more of it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right. I'm telling you, Dean Delray is so funny. The first time I saw him, I'm like, this is the fucking dude right now. I could fucking hang with him forever. And he's doing a million different things, so plug away, Chris.
Dean Delray's podcast, Let There Be Talk. It's available now on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Then Dean's opening for Bill Burr next Friday, September 28th at the LA Forum. You can see Dean's appearance on Conan last week on YouTube. And for all of Dean's dates, go to DeanDelray.com.
All right, that's it for us. Tomorrow, Dave Davies from the Kinks.
Oh, is he on?
Yeah. And Jim Brewer on Mass.
That's at 4 o'clock.
At 4 o'clock. We'll see you then.